entertainers are perverted one way or another. Most of them are, and a lot of the managers are, and a lot of the record producers are. And so what they do, they tie hand in hand. So you go into the studio, they give you cocaine, you get high, and then you do your act.
You never found satisfaction.
It wasn't no satisfaction. I was sick. I had to stay high all the time to feel like a natural person. I had to just it's a sickness, because you would feel bad when you do it. And after a while, you get so that you don't hear that little voice no more.
All right, what happened?
Proverbs, the 22nd chapter, verse 1, that a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches.
Oh God. Let's talk about it.
Bitch. No.
What it is you really do.
Yo. What it do, y'all? What it do? What's going on, everybody? I'm your host with the motherfucking most. Chill motherfucking Murray, live from the Spot Podcast. Shout out to everybody tuned in and not tuned in. You know how we do and how we rock. What's going on, Benjamin Zek? Freddy P, the homie, my moderator. DJ Bear Gang, let's get it. Black Bleach, what's going on? She believed, so she did. What's going on, y'all? Happy Saturday. Hope everybody having a good weekend. Hope everybody having a great weekend. Mad Hatter, what's going on? Yeah. All right, y'all. We got to get right into it. Man, oh man. Shout out to Mother Kitten. That hit me in my DMs and broke some interesting news to me yesterday. And a gentleman by the name of Naheem Bonilla. Kimbo Official, what's going on? First of all, let me get comfortable here. I don't want to get right into things. First of all, welcome everybody. Let me say welcome everybody once again. Everybody get comfortable up in here. I know I didn't necessarily give a announcement earlier that I was gonna go live, but I mean I did say Friday. I said y'all don't see me Friday, you're gonna see me Saturday. Definitely Saturday. And I think the Saturdays are more you know, I like them better. I do like them better. You know what I'm saying? I'm comfy right now. Let me just say that. I'm comfy right now. I'm comfy behind the new mic, the new camera setup. I'm gonna get my light fixed. I'm gonna get this goddamn thing fixed right now, just blinking like a motherfucker. But anyway, we gonna figure out how to get this this new setup taken care of, because I do have a new setup coming next week. I'm going to be doing interviews. We're going to see interviews on the channel coming soon. I wanted to also let that be known. Everybody, shout to everybody that's on the Patreon right now. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's subscribed to the Patreon. Please do subscribe to the Patreon. I'll drop the link in the chat once again for those that do not have it. And, excuse me. I will be putting some more stuff up there this week. Moving forward, once I get the stream key, once I figure out how to get the stream key going, we're going to start going live on the Patreon. I'm going to start uploading some joints too. Backspace, what's going on? What's going on? I'm going to upload the past lives, I should say. I'm going to upload them with the music up to the Patreon. And moving forward, I think one more episode, maybe two more episodes, I'm going to be playing music on here. Matter of fact, what I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to play the music on the live, and then the next day you're not going to hear the music no more. You're not going to hear the music no more. They trying to crack down on the brother, and I ain't trying to get my 2 and 3 strikes and then they remove me. Not just yet. No way. Not just yet. But all right, so where we at first? I guess first. Yeah, first things first. We need to get into Naheem Bonilla. Now, if you guys are not familiar with who Naheem Bonilla is, he is the gentleman that bought DJ Khaled's mansion. Okay? Let me get on over here, matter of fact. And yes, somebody asked me earlier, Black Bleach, yes, that was Little Richard. That's Little Richard right there. Back in the day. Crazy thing is, that's back when Little Richard gave himself to God. And he was like, I'm not gay no more. I ain't gay no more. I'm good now. We can watch that whole interview later on when he says, I'm not gay no more. I'm good now. I gave myself to God. I'm like, my goodness. So that was when Little Richard supposedly gave himself to God and was not woo-hoo no more. So if you put the music on a separate channel, it'll be easy to remove on the edit. Yeah, very true. But they actually give you the I like how YouTube does give you the option to just completely erase it or just completely mute it. I can do that, but I like to just completely erase it. That way it just skips it. So it actually trims it pretty good. I will give YouTube credit that their trimmer is pretty damn good. It is pretty damn good that you can utilize. But I have my own trimmer. You know what I'm saying? So we'll also do it that way. But where was I at? So okay. Where's my reports? Pop.
43-year-old Ryan James' wedding represented Canada in the 2002 Winter Olympics. Prosecutors say he shipped more than 800 pounds of cocaine in a single month, sending it from Mexico to California and then up to Canada. NBC News correspondent Guad Venegas joins us now with more. Guad, this is a crazy story, right? I mean, it's hard to believe all of this is true, but prosecutors say this guy, Wedding, was actually the leader of the group. How big of an operation are we talking?
Ellison, this reminds me a lot of the Mexican drug organizations when we get details from U.S. attorneys of how they operated. So we're talking about a group of individuals that operated between Colombia, Mexico, California, and Canada. According to authorities, are being accused of bringing in the drugs from Mexico into California. Then they would use semi-trucks, so long-haul vehicles, to send the drugs from California into Canada. The details, as you mentioned, are fascinating. Now, a wedding is at large. There's a reward of $50,000 for his capture. And his second in command, according to authorities, Clark, was captured in Mexico. The information shared by authorities yesterday indicates that both of them lived in Mexico while they ran this operation. Here's part of the press conference where authorities shared this information.
These individuals ran what we call the wedding criminal enterprise. This criminal enterprise was extremely prolific and ruthless. They were one of the largest suppliers of cocaine to Canada and into the United States.
Now, add to that, authorities also saying that there was a connection with the Sinaloa cartel.
Word, y'all, Freddy B, you right. Bro was Snowman for real. I mean, Black Bleach, you right. He was Snowman for real. Bro was Olympic snowboarder with all this, right? Like I was fresh new to all this right here. I was like, how in the fuck? But then I started listening to the places that he moved it from. I was like, wait a minute, California, Canada. I started listening to places. I'm like, well, Miami, California, Canada. I'm like, it's 3 different people that I could think of, and Jonathan Adi named 2 of them. Diddy, California. Khaled, Miami. Drake, Canada. I heard all 3 of them right there. I was like, wait a minute, what's the coincidence there? And then I keep hearing more and more and more they was trying to make Drake the new Diddy. And more things keep coming up. Todd, what's going on? You need the skis to get in this house. Word. More and more I keep hearing about Drake was supposed to be the new Diddy. And more things keep popping up to show that that could possibly be true. I mean, shit. Even down to motherfucking, even down to, him starting to date J-Lo now. And the rumors of that's rolling around. We'll get into that later. But yeah, this is interesting right here. What's even more interesting is, like I said, how this Naheem Bonilla guy is connected.
That protected them in Mexico. And just quickly, I'm going to list some of the aliases used by Wedding, according to authorities: El Jefe, El Toro, The Boss, Buddy, Giant, Grande, Public Enemy. Just a large number of aliases that were used both by Wedding and also
the real El Jefe
by his associate Clark.
Quad, so prosecutors say, or they laid out Wedding's alleged history of violent crimes, and they say that that history includes execution-style killings. What else did they say about his past, some of the violence, and in terms of where he may be right now? Do they think he's in Mexico?
Ellison, they didn't share any details as to where he could be. It's interesting because Clark, his associate, was arrested on October 8th in Mexico, but Mexican authorities did not inform of that arrest. But we know that this was the work of multiple agencies working together in Colombia, Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. And I should also say that about those murders, the details are brutal, including the assassination of a couple that, according to authorities, were killed in front of their daughter, who was also shot 13 times, Ellison.
Wow. All right. Guad Venegas, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and time.
Bruh, only thing I'm thinking about right now is the fact that, remember that Frank Lucas skit that I played a couple pods ago? Where he was like, yo, I don't want nobody, I ain't snitching on nobody, from Harlem. I want them cops that took that money from me. Yo, Diddy is snitching. Diddy telling. Diddy is telling. Ain't no way. Eric Adams get indicted the week he get arrested. Rest in peace, Liam. And then right, cool runnings here. El Jefe gets raided today. And then DJ Khaled buddy is also in the mix.
Federal investigators revealing more about a major drug trafficking bust tied to an FBI raid at an Aventura mansion.
Oh.
Federal investigators revealing more about a major drug trafficking bust tied to an FBI raid at an Aventura mansion.
And the alleged ringleader is a former Olympian now on the run and accused of murder. And Local 10's Cody Weddle live now in Aventura with the details for us tonight. Cody.
And Calvin and Nicole, the feds describing the drug empire this former Olympian ran as ruthless, murdering anybody who got in their way. An early Wednesday morning FBI raid in Aventura ended with the arrest of music executive Naheem Jorge Bonilla. According to the FBI, Bonilla had bought several kilos of cocaine from this man, Ryan Wedding, a former Olympic snowboarder turned drug kingpin.
Cultivated a violent transnational drug trafficking empire.
Federal law enforcement releasing details about the sophisticated drug-running network on Thursday. After 13 years in operation, the group was shipping in 60 tons of cocaine per year to the U.S.
It was a $1 billion criminal enterprise.
Damn! 60. Damn!
Which he ran with his partner, Clark, from Mexico.
That enterprise described as ruthless and violent.
Orchestrating multiple homicides to eliminate their rivals.
The drugs first purchased in Colombia.
They would then transport the cocaine into Mexico and then into the United States using long-haul semi-trucks.
The feds saying the drug network would eliminate anyone who crossed them. The group threatened Bonilla, the man in Aventura, that they would kill his mother due to an outstanding debt. In another incident, the group murdered a Canadian couple by mistake.
This was a case of mistaken identity. Wedding and Clark believed these individuals were responsible for a lost cocaine shipment, but they weren't. They had no known connection to Wedding, Clark, or the other people in the operation.
You know what's crazy about that beer gang? This is the same week that Meech gets released to the halfway house.
But that didn't matter. They were killed in cold blood in front of their daughter.
Yeah, this just happened like a day ago.
And their daughter was ultimately shot 13 times, but ultimately survived. Ryan Wedding, meanwhile, remains on the run. 16 people facing charges in relation to this, and arrests have been made in Mexico, Colombia, the U.S., and Canada. We're live in Aventura tonight. I'm Cody Weddle, Local 10 News.
What? Like, what are the odds, right? We got Eric Adams getting indicted the week of Diddy's arrest. Like I said, then Liam gets ambushed by two women in his hotel. And then this dude that's connected to Khaled gets raided. Like, this is wild. Yeah, the daughter was shot too. Like, and they told me something was a wrongful killing. I'm like, wrongful killing? Nah, that sounds like somebody meant to kill them. That sound like somebody meant to kill them. I don't think Meech snitched, but they found the real. Put it like this: when Meech came home, like I said, it's funny how Meech comes to come home and goes to the halfway house the same week that this happens, though. Like, this is wild. And I'm saying to myself, did Meech put a hit on who snitched on him? Like, that's what I started thinking about too. Like, it's a couple different angles with this. It's a couple different angles with this. Because remember, I played the clip of the other night of Meech specifically saying, yo, yeah, I know they say Puff is an informant, but you know what I'm saying? I never took him around nothing. Even though I know I wasn't supposed to be hanging around this nigga like that. He kept saying that. He's like, I know I wasn't supposed to be hanging around this nigga Puff when I got all these bricks in the basement like this. I know that already. So I'm like, okay. What if that's still connected with Diddy, right? And like I said, Meech came home and just, you know what I'm saying, handled business real quick. That's a possibility. But the main thing that we cannot escape, and we have to discuss here. So let me just read this article real quick. of what is going on here specifically, so we can figure out together what is going on here. So I do have some clips that will help us figure out what's going on. Bro, what's going on? Simple Town Radio, what's going on? What's going on? I do have some clips that'll help us figure out what is possibly going on here, I think, you know. Bricks of cocaine are stacked in a Drug Enforcement Administration office that investigators say were confiscated from a multinational drug trafficking group operated by a former Canadian Olympian. The FBI raided a house in Ventura Wednesday, October 16, 2024, as part of its investigation. An FBI raid Wednesday on a sprawling multi-million-dollar mansion in Ventura was part of a wide-scale federal operation to take down a transnational cocaine trafficking organization that officials say is headed by a former Olympic athlete. One person was arrested when the warrant was served at 3914 Island Estates Drive. Christy Hawkins, FBI special agent in charge of the LA field office, said during a media briefing Thursday. The home is owned by music executive and Miami Beach restaurateur Naheem Jorge Bonilla, 36. He's my age. Whose name is among 16 people listed in this indictment against the leader of the alleged trafficking group, Bonilla, owner of Mandrake. Now, we've heard about this before. I think Drake did a record with Mandrake, I believe. I'm just kidding. Located at 210 23rd Street in Miami Beach, is in custody at Miami Federal Detention Center. Bonilla bought 6,522 square foot mansion from famed record producer DJ Khaled for $4.8 million in 2020. So this is just about 4 years ago he took the mansion from him. Real estate publication The Real Deal had reported arrests related to the organization were also made in the U.S., Colombia, Mexico, and Canada. In all, 12 people were arrested, though Hawkins noted 4 members of the organization, including the alleged ringleader Ryan James Wedding. 43 are still at large. Make sure I ain't skipped on there. Okay. Wedding competed on the Canadian snowboarding team during the 2002 Winter Olympics, but instead of continuing his athletic achievements, he chose to become a major drug trafficker, and he chose to become a killer, said Martin Estrada, U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California. Along with trafficking more than 60 tons of cocaine a year into the United States and Canada, the FBI said Wedding's gang used contract killers to murder at least 4 people, including a couple in Canada visiting from India, who were shot dead in front of their daughter, also wounded by gunfire. Now, when I hear that, right, that 60 tons of cocaine a year into the U.S., I can only, you know what, I'm going to play the clip later on because it's going to coincide with, I'm going to play the clip in just a second, actually. It's going to coincide exactly what we're talking about here. Just remember that, 60 tons of cocaine being moved into the U.S. a year, okay? According to Estrada, Wedding's organization would buy its cocaine from Colombia and ship it to Mexico, where he was running the operation. From Mexico, the group used long-haul truckers to transport the drugs to Los Angeles, where the loads would be taken to various stash houses in the area. From the stash houses, Estrada detailed how they would use long-haul truckers to deliver the contraband to East Coast of the United States and various parts of Canada. The group used various cryptocurrency wallets to launder the drug. More proceeds. Estrada said agents underscored that in one wallet alone they found more than $3 million. So one cryptocurrency wallet alone had $3 million in it, just to move around. That's just they trying to clean some money up there with the cryptocurrency, but they caught that too, it seems like. Wedding has prior conviction from drug trafficking in the U.S., serving 4 years in prison before. Upon his release, we believe he went back to drug trafficking and, in fact, built this ruthless and prolific organization, Estrada said. According to the indictment, Wedding was also known by several aliases, including El Jefe, Giant, and Public Enemy. Oop, did I skip something? Okay, down to the list here. The FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for Wedding's capture. The agency is asking anyone with information on his whereabouts to call 1-800. I ain't gonna say the number. He's charged with running a continuing criminal enterprise, murder, attempted murder, and conspiring to possess, distribute, and export cocaine. His second in command, Andrew Clark, 34, also a Canadian citizen, were arrested by Mexican authorities on October 8th, according to Justice Department. Let me see something real quick. I just want to see. Andrew Clark. Oh, he's ready. No. This is what he looks like down here. Okay. I just want to see if I recognize some faces real quick. I just want to see if I recognize some faces in the operation that they... So these are the people that they, I guess, are at large still. So Bilagnog is still at large. Ansimo is still at large. And Ryan Wedding, of course. But they got everybody else, it looks like. Including Naheem Bonilia. Oh, wow. He was part of the ring, too. But what's interesting is, like I said, how they actually know each other. Khaled and Bonilia know each other. That's the string that's really attached there. And how this guy is actually linked. We're going to look at a couple of clips of how he's actually linked. So, real quick, just to bring y'all, I'm gonna bring y'all a blast from the past, right? Operation Giant Slalom is crazy, right? Right. No Diddy. Bring y'all a blast from the past real quick, right? Simba, what's going on, my brother? Simba, what's going on? I'm gonna bring y'all to a blast from the past from where the early days of DJ Khaled come from. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show y'all where Khaled really come from. In the background is young skinny Khaled. This is young DJ. Well, I don't even know if this is his DJ days. This might have just been his young. Khaled was about his seriousness in this little role, wasn't he? Didn't have a single thing to say. Khaled like he undercover. That's fucked up. Yes, Biggs, you're gone too far. You're gone too far, Biggs. You're gone too far. There's a lot of good quotes from this damn movie. A lot of good quotes from this movie. Me no get a bumper clap nothing. Bumper. Like I'm telling you, I might watch this movie tomorrow, just or even later on tonight, just for nostalgia purposes. I fucking love Shottas. But just to show y'all again, the early days of Khaled in Miami, because this was shot in Miami. I believe this is in Little Haiti, if I'm not mistaken. But another interesting clip that came across my timeline that might link us to where Khaled's early beginnings actually link him to. So, Exhibit A.
Hey, yo, check this out. This is DJ Khaled.
What's up?
I'm sorry.
No shit. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you. I'm Diddy though, y'all.
Yeah, but I'm Khaled too.
Khaled, but you also Billy.
And I'm Billy.
And I'm Love.
And I'm Father of Assad.
Father of Assad.
And you Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy.
And Sean Combs.
Yeah. And what is this?
First time.
The first time?
Ever.
This is the first time ever. Another one.
Another one.
Yes, he did.
Who want to go first?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to answer that, though.
I mean, as a fan.
I don't know if we want to answer that, though. Did y'all catch that?
Who want to go first?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to answer that, though.
Pretty much the question was, how do they actually meet? And Diddy didn't necessarily want to answer that question. But Khaled took over the question and said this.
I mean, as a fan, I met Puff, Jack the Rapper, Street Team. I was Street Team. I'm still a fan. But I'm talking about, so he don't know who Khaled is, but I'm just hustling Street Team, and I don't think he realized that I used to be Street Team for Bad Boy. Then after that, in Miami, me and Puff met while I was on the radio. You know, when I'm breaking records, spinning records. Met him through a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, and we just became real brothers.
So met him through a lot of people, we just became real brothers. So this would even be before he was with Terror Squad as well. He said this was young breaking record days. This is again why I showed that clip just now. That is when Diddy actually met him. We're talking about early 90s. We're not even talking about 2000s. We're talking about the 90s when Puff met him.
Yeah, I can't tell you about the first time I met him, the real truth. I just can't speak on it, you know.
Yes.
You see that? Did y'all catch that?
Spinning records. Met him through a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, and we just became real brothers.
Yeah, I can't tell you about the first time I met him, the real truth. Yeah, I just can't speak on it, you know.
Yeah, some stories gotta be untold.
I bet they do. I bet they do. But they will not go untold with me.
Holmes.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Straight from DC, what's good?
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes, and I came back and I sued him for the herpes and won. But Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
I seen the liquid cocaine, I've drank it myself. Having sex with Diddy and Cassie. Okay? It's not good. He drinks it all the time. Alright? He calls it G-Jit, but it's liquid cocaine.
I didn't catch how he dissed Diddy like that. He's like, I have sex with Diddy and Cassie all the time. But it's not good. He drinks and gets high all the time.
Alright. I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. Okay, was he scared that I was going to expose him?
I don't want to talk about Diddy right now. I want to talk about you. Help me understand you.
That's the thing, Mr. Federale. You need to be talking about Diddy because he's telling you some very privileged information. See, what this is right here is more evidence. Number one, what Jonathan Hay has also been saying about DJ Khaled being gay. See, I'm just waiting for somebody else besides Tia, his baby mama, to say Rick Ross is gay. I'm just waiting for somebody to confirm him. So far, Khaled has been confirmed. Okay? He even put a date on it. Jonathan Hay, remember? He put a date on it. He said 2016, there's no way you could not say that Khaled was gay. There's no way you could not. He said they drank liquid cocaine. I never caught that. Yeah, he's talking about the they were talking about the what do you call it? When they were making up the Tusi. This is the early days of the Tusi, pretty much. But the liquid cocaine, yes, I've still yet to see exactly what that might be. And I'm wondering now if that has something to do, of course, with the wedding gentleman, the Olympic snowboarder in Bonilla. I'm wondering now if there's a connection here, especially when he starts to say, when he starts to talk about the drug trafficking. This is to bring you guys up to speed. This is Jonathan Adi, who shot up, yes, the Transnational Hotel in 2018.
It looks like an exchange of
Original
gunfire
me, what's going
right
on?
out of a Hollywood action movie.
Jonathan about that action.
Police say on Friday he opened fire inside President Donald Trump's luxury hotel.
Sir, I'm ordering that you stay away from the Trump National Doral Hotel.
Police say that's where Odie stole an American flag from, and that he went into the...
Okay. Now, like I said, I do have, you guys already know, I got the whole clip of where he talks about them pretty much, disguising the hip-hop agenda with the drug trafficking, right? That part, every time I hear about this drug trafficking and sex trafficking and all this trafficking shit and trafficking, every time I hear that, I think about Jonathan Adi stopping the federale and the investigator in the middle of the investigation saying, yo, you need to know about this. This is why I was infiltrating Diddy, okay? You need to know about this. And lo and behold, if he would have caught that, bro, probably would have got a bonus by now. Right, look, he damn sure do like Jason Statham. But if Buddy would have just been listening to him, tell you what's going on. If they would have just been listening to Buddy, he would have been telling them some very, very, very good information. If they only would have paid attention. So, Exhibit C.
Okay guys, I am struggling to get this video out for you guys. I'm really in the airport, and I do not want to be screaming, especially because people are looking at me as I'm filming. But we got to get into this because it's an absolute shit show. Hey guys, it's Murad Morali. Hopefully you guys are all doing well today. Back at again. It is daily and consistent content. I'm going to keep this intro very quick because I'm in a whole airport. But some weird videos. Anyways, there are some weird videos resurfacing of DJ Khaled and Diddy, and I'm not really surprised by this.
New York City, they say it's sold out. They told me this is sold out. I called Puff Daddy. He said, Khaled, where you at?
And when I'm in Miami, when I'm in Miami, I need anything. And I mean anything. We can't even discuss it. The things that this man is capable of bringing to you.
Oh, really? Really?
In Miami, I need anything, and I mean anything. We can't even discuss it. The things that this man is capable of bringing to you, but believe me, he has Miami on lock.
Diddy is such a damn, this is what I keep saying. This nigga is not the brightest bulb in the box. He has always been incriminating himself. I mean, always.
They told me this is sold out. I called Puff Daddy. He said, Khaled, where you at?
He couldn't keep it music steady.
When I'm in Miami, I need anything, and I mean anything.
I mean anything. And look who's laughing in the background.
We can't even discuss it. The things that this man is capable of bringing to you.
It can't even discuss the things this man is capable of bringing to you.
But believe me, he has Miami on lock. But this is the love affair, baby. It's a love movement.
Rick Ross in the background as well.
Wasn't it the greatest invention ever?
You know how close his relationship is, and even look at what Diddy's saying. Like, we're in Miami, we can do anything in Miami. We discussed yesterday, Jonathan Oddie was in Miami, Diddy's house is in Miami, corruption is in Miami. It's the perfect place for them to do so. And you have DJ Khaled.
Whose house is in Miami? I'll let you hear that name again.
Diddy saying, like, we're in Miami, we can do anything in Miami. We discussed yesterday, Jonathan Oddie was in Miami.
Jonathan Oddie in Miami.
Diddy's house is in Miami, corruption is in Miami. It's the perfect place for them to do so. And you have DJ Khaled in this position saying that he would do anything, and they've done things that they can't even talk about for certain collections. This wouldn't be surprising to me. I feel like DJ Khaled is a big puppet. I feel like he's a waste man. For the fact that Palestine are going through what they're going through, and as a Palestinian you can't say anything, is absolutely pathetic. So that obviously he's doing so, and he's remaining silent because his superiors are telling him to. So therefore, why wouldn't he do things that his superiors tell him to in relation to Diddy? Evidently they would. Not only this, but there's a picture of French Montana Diddy, and it just looks weird, guys. It looks like he's spooning him in some kind of weird way. French Montana obviously is under Bad Boy Entertainment Records, and I feel like he has a different connection with Diddy as well. And this is the situation when we look at Diddy and this Cassie lawsuit and the other lawsuits that will come forward. We're also going to be looking at several other people that are in close circumference to Diddy, whether it's Meek Mills, whether it's Rick Ross, whether it's DJ Khaled, French Montana. And I really want to focus on DJ Khaled and French Montana in this particular video because I feel like these two are definitely up to something, have done things. We're probably at those freak offs, but Cassie would be able to recall if DJ Khaled was there because he's a very round man. So mask or no mask, we gonna know if DJ Khaled is there. Point blank, period. But I think that DJ Khaled and French have done things. We're probably aware of what was going on with Cassie and Diddy. We're probably, I assume, in the weird positions, have partaken in freak offs. Literally, DJ Khaled is saying that he has had to do things for an iPad or whatever as a joke. So clearly they've participated in some kind of freak off in these videos. And these videos are from 10, 12 years ago. And everything's just resurfacing and people are connecting the dots. It's an absolute mess. Anyways, make of this what you will. My videos are going to be very short whilst I'm in the airport. I do not want to be screaming in this airport. Subscribe to the channel, click that button, I would appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys soon. I'll catch you guys.
So, and I can't think if this is the same clip where he talks about the trunk loads. It was Diddy was like Khaled brings trunk loads, but yeah, more incriminating footage. More and more incriminating footage. Tamiko Show, what's going on? And 411, what's going on? It's starting to come up of these gentlemen. Now, mind you, as he's saying that, right? This clip isn't new. Neither was that footage. But this particular clip is from damn near a year ago. For the arrest, for the raid. Damn near around the time that the Cassie case came out. Needless to say, they are looking for everybody. No stone will be unturned. I'm starting to notice that. No stone will be unturned here. And like I said, when I saw Diddy get arrested, there will be blood. There will be blood. We will not be hearing just the last of Diddy just rotting behind bars. No. Not till May. Not till May. He gonna be busy. He making phone calls. You hear me? That boy Diddy making phone calls right now. Phone calls are being made. They are being made. Interesting tidbit, right? From Freddy P. By way of Doggy Diamonds.
Make sure you go to www.theinterviewking.com. Sign up for the email list, and all the content will
Shout out to the homie
definitely
Doggy
come
Diamonds.
directly to your inbox. Let's go.
Come on, man. Them niggas gonna rock with Diddy, man. Them niggas, you can tell how them niggas act now. Them niggas pussy get wet every time they round that nigga. Them niggas fucking girls, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't stand for nothing, bro. Yeah, they listen. Like I told you, they was waiting so long to get on.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? You don't understand what Miami went through to get on.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was fucking.
He's talking about Ross and DJ Khaled. So pretty much Freddie P made an interesting tidbit to where when Making the Band came out on the scene, Freddie P pretty much was the inside link to the hood, so to speak, in Miami. So this would be where the connection actually happens. Overthoughts, what's going on? Joy to the world, what's going on? This would be what the actual connection confirms of these two actually linking together in the early 90s. Or should I say early 2000s, leading in 90s leading into 2000s, excuse me. So let's pinpoint a certain year, okay? Let's pinpoint a certain year here. Let's say Making the Band 1 release date. Making of the Band 1 was March 24th, 2000. And finished airing in 2002, right? Okay, so when did DJ Khaled We Taking Over come out? That would be 2007. So let's say about a 5-year gap, right? Making the Band happens. Then there's like a 5-year gap, but not even a 5-year gap. Let's say before that, right? When did Buy You a Drink? Say a little bit before. Okay, so yeah, it was 2007. All of it was 2007. So what I'm getting at is, remember when Snap Music first came out? Snap Music were around 2006, 2007, right? So, damn, I missed some shit. Not really. I mean, kind of, but not really. What's going on, Prince Sherry? What's going on? So, 2007, right? So that 5-year gap, let's say about that 5-year gap in between what Freddie P is talking about with Making the Band, him supposedly introducing Diddy to, you know, the ins and outs of Miami, right? Remember what Diddy said himself, or should I say Khaled even said himself, they met around the times of DJ Khaled early DJ days, right? So, let's see. DJ Khaled early radio year. So lo and behold, the man started in 93. 98, he got the first gig. 2003, he got the radio. He got the gig where we called it the 99 Jams, and he became he started hosting weeknights on 99 Jams in 2003. So he got the look in 2003. So like I said, this is all starting to make sense now. 2002 is when Making of the Band stopped airing. Right? As Freddy P just said. 2003, he gets the 99 Jams. Right? About 4 years after this, We Taking Over comes out. I'm starting to see where this connection is really starting to happen here. Exactly. You never understood how he blew up either, right? This is pretty much what Freddy P is talking about.
With this city like that, nobody. We had no major deals coming through. I broke that door open. I showed the world we can rap outside of booty music.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe 3, 4 months, 6 months after my deal, niggas started getting deals.
Mm.
And they, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the first time ever, this city broke ice because of me, y'all. And y'all act like y'all don't. When they mention artists, they want to bring up the local artists before they bring me up. You know what I'm saying? You'll have certain DJs that know and be on 99 Jam just playing my music. They don't even play the whole band. They just play my verse. You know what I'm saying? And that was respect for it. I mean, they were still doing this shit 3, 4 years ago. They still do it sometimes where they just play my music. So I got respect for certain people. But it's like, Khaled, like, that was I love Khaled. Like, I ain't gonna sit here and bash Khaled.
What's going on?
But niggas pussy get wet when they got around that nigga. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, them niggas ain't 100. They ain't come back and my nigga, at least y'all could have did was put a nigga in the studio to write records. Even if y'all felt like the man didn't want me to blow up and whatever the situation was, y'all could
have. Excuse me, Scope from the Go. You're very right. Ace Hood got the fuck away from all of this. He got the fuck away from all of that shit. He got healthy. He got fit. He got his girl. And he pretty much just got away from the mainstream of music. I remember that now. Only One Zane, what's going on?
Put me in the studio and let me feed my family because I opened the door for you niggas. That's all I was telling nigga. Like, bro, y'all stepping on my back right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world wasn't even fucking with y'all. Nobody knew nothing about no Miami, nothing. None of that. It was only Trick. You get what I'm saying?
And so your gripe is it was only booty bass music, and then you brought that real street rap to the game.
Yeah,
and then open the door.
Look at the facts. We could go look at the facts. Go look at the facts and just show me one nigga that signed before me out of town.
And I'll show y'all again real quick because I was going through it as we were doing the Googles, right? I'll show y'all again. I'll go back to it, right? Making It a Band release date 2000. Finished airing March 2002. Look at this. His timeline was in 98. Hold on. It was just up here. 2003, actually. There it goes. 2003. He got the 99 Jams. He got the 99 Jam show. So the following year, Making It a Band, it stops airing. He gets this show. 4 years later, just 4 years later, 2007, in which you all heard Puff said he met this nigga back during his early DJ days. Puff said it himself. He met Khaled during his early DJ days. You know what I'm saying? And for those just getting in here, play the clip for y'all one more time, cause shit is getting interesting.
I'm in Miami, I need anything, and I mean anything. We can't.
You said Khaled, where you at?
Yeah, and when I'm in Miami, when I'm in Miami, I need anything, and I mean anything. We can't even discuss it, the things that this man is capable of bringing to you. But believe me, he has Miami on lock. But this is the love affair.
Like, it's downright, direct.
I Puff Daddy. He said, Khaled, where you at?
Yeah. And when I'm in Miami, when I'm in Miami, I need anything, and I mean anything. We can't even discuss it. The things that this man is capable of bringing to you, but believe me, he has Miami on lock. But this is the love affair, baby. It's a love movement.
Rick Ross in the background as well. We know how close it's.
Like, it couldn't be any more obvious, y'all. It couldn't be any more
Hey, yo,
obvious.
check this out. This is DJ Khaled.
What's up?
I'm sorry.
No shit. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you.
all love,
I'm Diddy though, y'all.
Yeah, but I'm Khaled too.
Khaled, but you also Billy.
And I'm Billy.
And I'm Love.
And I'm Father of Assad.
Father of Assad.
And you Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy.
And Sean Combs.
Yeah.
Mali,
And what is
what's going
this?
on? Watch
First
dogs,
time.
what's
The
going
first
on?
time
Ever.
This is the first time ever. Another one.
Joy to the world. What's going on?
Who want to go first?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to answer that though.
I mean, as a fan, I met.
Again, Diddy didn't want to answer that. Yo, how did y'all first meet? He didn't want to answer that question at first.
Puff, Jack the Rapper, Street Team. I was Street Team. I'm still a fan. But I'm out. So he don't know who Khaled is, but I'm just hustling Street Team, and I don't think he realized that I used to be Street Team for Bad Boy. Then after that, in Miami, me and Puff met while I was on the radio.
You heard that. Again, 2002, Making It the Band stopped airing. He gets 99 Jams gig 2003. Him and Puff met. When?
When I'm breaking records, spinning records. Met him through a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And we just became real brothers.
Yeah, I can't tell you about the first time I met him, the real truth. I just can't speak on
You can't, right?
it,
Yeah, some stories gotta be untold.
Yeah.
God is great.
God is great. And we don't have to live that way anymore. Good.
Yeah, we blessed.
He came through.
Yeah.
Make sure you know he came through.
Yeah.
Trunk full.
Yeah.
Trunk was full. Everything was all right. And we don't have to live that way anymore. Good.
Yeah, we blessed.
He came through.
Yeah.
Make sure you know he came through.
Yeah.
Trunk full.
Yeah.
Trunk was full. Everything was all right.
We blessed.
Really?
Yeah, we blessed.
He came through.
Yeah.
Make sure you know he came through.
Yeah.
Trunk full.
Yeah.
Trunk was full. Everything was all right.
We blessed.
What an informant that Diddy, isn't he? What an informant that man is. What an informant. Yeah, the trunk was full, wasn't it? Trunk full. Trunk full. Everything was all right. Nigga, what? Bruh. Trunk was full, huh? Trunk was full of snowman, wasn't it? I bet that trunk was full, huh? Khaled is capable of bringing a lot of different things into it, huh? Khaled capable of bringing a lot of things into Miami. He runs Miami, right? He runs Miami, huh? Like a motherfucker. Just like a motherfucker. I'm telling you, it gotta be. It gotta be, Taya. It gotta be. Like, you couldn't even be subtle on camera about the shit. Trunk full, trunk full, looking to the side and shit. Everything was all right. Like, nigga, you couldn't even see. That's what Gene was talking about. This was the I just want to be around type of nigga. I'm just happy to be around hood niggas. That's who he was. He pretty much. That's why Gene said he pretty much was around him to get his street cred. Cause he don't know how to be no street nigga. You don't know what the fuck you talking about? Some trunk was full on Rolling Stone. This is Rolling Stone, nigga. This is Rolling fucking Stone. You talking about some? When I met him, the trunk was full, bruh. Cole been moving around very freely over the years. Carefully, everybody hating on Cole. We know. I'm like, well, Arrows 120. What's going on? I love how you can, someone said it earlier, the camera was the greatest invention. The camera was the greatest invention there. And yes, Cole has been moving around very freely. And this is why. This is why. Papa was a Rolling Stone. That's right. It's crazy how, like I said, you can look back at all this footage and start to notice things. Start to notice a lot of things. Speaking of looking back in the day, of noticing things. And thank you for that Cash App. I greatly appreciate it. Speaking of looking back in the day and noticing things, right? Check this out, right? Because I can't. This just popped up. But remember when we were all wondering what was going on with Mr. Jamie Foxx? Remember when we were just guessing, right? We were all just guessing what happened to Jamie Foxx as far as him, the clone Tyrone coming out at the same time, him getting sick and having a stroke and supposedly. Anyway, I was like, Diddy did it. Diddy did it. No, Diddy didn't do it. Diddy did it. Did he do it? Diddy did it. Show you how Diddy did it. Listen to how Diddy did it.
How's it going? What's the word, bro? We back at it again.
We're back at it, man. Glad to have you back, man. Things have always been cracking.
Yes,
Every
sir.
time we do something.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say congratulations on 1 million views. By the time this hits, you'll have 1 million views on the very first interview we did. And that's
Let's
just
go.
for one clip, the full interview.
Full interview. Let's go. Let's go. That's what's up. Thanks for having me, bro. Like, you the one took the interview first and got all this started, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no problem, man. I'm glad it worked out. Well, I think we'll just probably start off with the biggest stuff that's been going on, man, since our last interview, man, and that is Diddy has been arrested, man. He's arrested at a Manhattan hotel, and they're charging him with a lot of crimes, a lot of serious crimes. He's looking at, 15 years to life in prison, sex trafficking, a lot of really nasty charges. What was your first thoughts when you first seen the news?
Well, my first thoughts was kind of like vindication, because
Icon Vonnie, what's going on?
To everybody who was on the comments in the first interview trying to say I was lying or embellishing, everything I said proved to be facts. Everything that I laid out on the table was shown to be facts. And, they didn't arrest him until he brought his private jet to New York. Because part of the agreement was, long as his private jet was not in the same city and state as him, he could stay on the street. He brought that private jet to New York. They see him out there taking pictures with little females on the street. This guy had a sucker in his mouth, man, in front of some young females. They came and got him. What's going on? What's that about? I knew it was coming. And I've been saying it for years.
I didn't even realize they caught Puff with a lollipop in his mouth. That just makes it even worse.
But now, it's out in the open. And you see in the indictment that they had the blonde hair vampire sex workers in there. In the indictment, they got this man on camera sexually assaulting a male sex worker on camera, man.
And the crazy thing is, while I was reading that shit, every time I was reading the lawsuits to y'all and going over different footage with Diddy, I kept mentioning what Big Homie C was talking about, where he was like, yo, pay attention when the spiked head dudes come in there. When the flashy shirt, spike head white boys come up in there, that's when it's time to go. That's when Uncle Luke even said, yo, it was time to go. When I saw the spike head dudes come up in here, Uncle Luke said it. Listen, Uncle Luke, Doodle Brown, okay? Doodle Brown Luke. Miami ass shaking Luke. Wild fucking Freaknik Luke. Freaknik Luke said it's time to go when it comes to a Diddy party. You know it's some shit going down that you just shouldn't be at.
I told y'all, I'm telling facts. No.
Now, we've touched on some of the stories from before, but a lot of them were just, like Dwight Howard. Now, there's nothing really illegal about anything that you actually seen. You know, what are some of the things that you heard behind the scenes that were going on before this indictment actually dropped?
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact.
So, wait, you're saying that Diddy poisoned Jamie Foxx and that's how Jamie Foxx got sick?
Jamie Foxx reported this man to the FBI because of this.
Juju, what had happened was, what's going on? I'll run it back for y'all. You heard what he just said?
And that's how Jamie Foxx...
I know that's a fact.
Before this indictment actually dropped.
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact.
So, wait, you're saying that
Jamie Foxx reported
the things that you heard behind the scenes that were going on before this indictment actually dropped?
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact.
So, wait, you're saying that Diddy poisoned Jamie Foxx and that's how Jamie Foxx got sick?
Jamie Foxx reported this man to the FBI because of this.
Auntie Tazi, what's going on? That's a great question.
Facts.
Wow. Okay, and how did you hear
this man to the FBI because of this?
To the FBI. Jamie Foxx reported Diddy to the FBI. So there is no more speculation. There is no more speculation as to what happened to Jamie Foxx. Big homie just confirmed it. Just confirmed it. Yes, that's a great question. Why were we singing Doodle Brown? I have no idea why we were singing that song. Especially when you think about what it might be about. Ugh. But Jamie Foxx, you know, when he came out of the hospital, he didn't say too much about this. He didn't say much about this at all. He didn't say much about this at all. And you know, let's listen to more of what he's saying real quick.
Facts.
Wow. Okay, and how did you hear about this? If you can tell me, or if you can't, that's all good. But you know what I'm saying, like, well, you know, people are they're gonna want to know, you know what I'm saying, how this happened, or you know what I'm saying, what's the backstory to this?
Well, by the time this drop, this is gonna be in the stratosphere. It's gonna be in the ether by the time this drop. You can probably look it up right now. But by the time this interview drop, this is gonna be out in the ether for sure. These people poison people, bro. I've been poisoned 3 times. Why am I testing positive for cyanide? You feel me? Why do I had pneumonia 3 times? So people like, man, why he breathe like that? Because I only got 1 lung. And then I had a car crash. I got 1 nostril permanently blocked. And I done had pneumonia 3 times. Somebody been trying to poison me. My brother got poisoned with me. The little lady I was bodyguarding, she got poisoned. Like, somebody is carrying on these antics. These is facts.
Is there any idea why Diddy would want to poison Jamie Foxx?
You get called to testify if you on camera and some of this footage and you want to make it a little bit easier for yourself. It's ways in this industry people go about doing things. Just know I tested positive for cyanide 3 times. After drinking some bottles in the club. Once you get hit with the cyanide, it turns into pneumonia. I had it 3 times. So, fact.
So I just want to make sure, we're talking about what was it, a year or 2 ago or so, when Jamie Foxx got real sick and everybody said he had a stroke?
Yes.
We're talking about that, or we're talking about something different?
I'm talking about that.
Okay. Now, and you said that you've been, victim of having your, liquor poisoned. Like, what do you think that you did that made them want to poison you?
Bro, I didn't. If you ask anybody about me, they're gonna tell you I'm known for blowing the spot up. So like, I've had altercations with people around him for doing strange things to people that I'm close with, and they do little sneaky stuff like that. You feel me? So I was kind of careful about some of the things I said, but now that I know that certain people off the street, the money is dried up, so now it's time to play ball.
Now it's time to play ball. I know that's right, see. I know that's right. So pretty much everybody's now, they don't care about whistleblowing now that Diddy is arrested. Now that Diddy's arrested, nobody pretty much has too much fear as far as regarding him is concerned. But you notice with even with Jay and Beyonce throwing that cease and desist at Pierre Morgan, more people are starting to say, okay, we can say what the fuck we want about Jay and Beyonce. Ain't gonna throw cease and desist at us. Nazir Ali, what's going on? I like how everybody is ready to tell the truth now. I love how everybody's ready to tell the truth now. If y'all don't remember what the big homie talking about now, I don't remember now.
There has been negative propaganda put out about me.
Let me change the pack. Put my light on here. Do that again, Puff. Do that again. I missed that one.
Very serious medical emergency that landed him in the hospital.
Yo, Foxx and Diddy, what? Puff sitting there. So it's kind of, I'm like, damn, this shit is crazy, man. Huh? So what I did was, I would show up to the party in my little town car. There's town, I grabbed me a town car so I could skirt. Puff the SUVs and the Bentleys, the whole night. He get out. I get out too with a camera, the big Canon. Like, yo, Puff, I should document this shit, right? Yo, what's up, Playboy? What you talking about? I said, no, I should get this, man. You, Fonz, the whole night. He says, yeah, let him through. Excuse me. So I get there. But at that time, it wasn't like the little camera y'all got. It was the big intrusive Canon. I had a battery pack. Hold on, man. Let me change the pack. Put my light on here. Do that again, Puff. Do that again. I missed that one. Do that again. Put the pack. So I started following him. Wow. So I followed him the whole time. I remember watching Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I'm filming this. And it's a pool party that is ridiculous, man. And I look up and I see Dr. Ruth. I don't know if you know who that is. The sex lady. The sex lady. I see Dr. Ruth. I said, Miss Ruth, could you please come over here? This guy by the name of Sean P. Diddy Combs. I need you to come meet him. I need this for my camera. Dr. Ruth and Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel pool dancing.
So now you have the hotline lady, Dr. Ruth, right? If y'all remember Dr. Ruth, Google Dr. Ruth. Like that's a wormhole in itself. Miss Dr. Ruth. But Dr. Ruth, I'm saying the sex lady, yes. The sex teacher, I should say. Dr. Ruth, the sex educator. Let me just say what it properly is. The sex educator, Dr. Ruth. With Diddy. Okay? Freak off happening. And Jamie's got footage of it. Jamie's telling people he has footage of it. Diddy didn't like this.
On their thing, right? And you know what they dancing to? Over in the corner, God bless, is Heavy D, Andre Harrell, and they listening to a demo. You know what the demo is? Right. Bum, 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 bum.
Beyonce.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow. And then Andre Harrell, run that back. That's the one right there. That's going to be the one. You just missed that, the ordering of the champagne, the whole nine. Country, get this. You can call me country. I'm going to take country, get this. So I'm filming it. That's the one. That's the record right there. Run it back. Bun. So Dr. Ruth Puff dancing, right? All of a sudden I get this, and then I flip the camera this way. There's Demi Moore and some young dude. I don't know who the dude is. So I said, Puff, who that? Oh, that's the young cat. I asked him question. I said, cool. So I asked Demi Moore. I said, is it cool if I? She said, sure, whatever. It was probably a wild night. Said, sure. So I watched when they first, got together. So what happened was, I'm following Puff, and his parties were like amazing. We were in Philly one day. I fly to Philly, town car, same business, go up. But Puff say this party, Playboy, this party right here, I said $1.5 million. I said, nigga, what? You spent $1.5 million on this party? I said, you come to my house, I'll throw you a party for $400, and it will rival this, not in scale, but the people there, because that's how I started. I was the first social media dude. When I would do stand-up, I had cue cards. This is 91. I had cue cards, and I would have people sign and put their pager numbers on it. And I would call during the week, yo, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be here. So I had 800 signatures, 600 women, 200 guys. So it became a floating party.
Hey, real quick, because I was just thinking about it while he was saying the Beyonce Crazy in Love record. The bam, that's Crazy in Love. The that's Crazy in Love, right? So I was like, what are the odds, right? Because I'm like, this is a Puff party. How does he have Beyonce song? Right? I'm like, what are the odds that he owns part of that record? Not produced it, but what are the odds that Puff owns part of Beyonce's record Crazy in Love? What are the odds of that, right? What are the fucking odds of that? I gotta put this one in the bigs. I'll put this one in the bigs for y'all. Watch this. Look at this shit here. Let me highlight that for y'all. In case y'all don't see who that is. That's a Janice and Justin Combs Publishing. But look who's the co-producer on Summertime for that. Stevie J. Well, what do you have here? Justin and Janice Combs Publishing have the publishing rights to Beyonce's Crazy in Love. What are the fucking odds? The things you find, you know?
So when Puff came to LA, he said, yo, Playboy, Saturday morning, make that shit happen. I said, I'm on it. Went into my phones, called 200, because I didn't have a big house, 200 of my best friends, girls that were beautiful but not tight, but not slutty, you know, just in the daytime. You know, it's daytime. So this is my daytime crew, right? He get there, he goes, that's the girl on this movie, and that's the girl on that. I said, yeah, we all hang out. We ain't got no money, but we all hang out together. I said, look on the table. Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I put on some nice plates and some cola and a picture and the whole nine. And it was great. He had a great time. And that was that same party that Pharrell was at. But what I started doing in order to get artists together, I said, Puff, you don't understand. When we watch you from New York, you're bigger than life to us. I said, so the $1.5 million, yeah, you can do that, but it don't matter. Because a New York fitted baseball cap is how much retail?
Like $25.
$25, right?
Yeah.
I said, Puff, but on your head, it's priceless, man. And I said, now watch this. And I played pong, pong, ping, pong, 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 pong. And the LA niggas was mad. They was like, hey, look here, cuz, hey, fuck that shit, dog. Fuck that shit, dog. That motherfucker. I said, look, you got these LA niggas gone. And it was moments like that. It was like, and then I had a studio in the back. So every time somebody would come over, I would ask them to drop music there. Puff, Snoop, because I wanted to get in the music business. But we also started doing this thing called New Music Hour. So any person that came to the house that had a song or could do stand-up with it, you could perform. No one was allowed to boo or nothing like this. Watch who benefited from it. Nick Cannon used to sleep on my couch. Wow. 13 years old. He'd be in one part of the house. He'd like, can I, nigga, go back in there. You can't, the fuck back in there. You can't come in here. And he'd be like this, right? He slept on the couch. Ed Sheeran was the latest. Ed Sheeran slept. Ed Sheeran, my new house. Ed Sheeran slept on my studio floor for 6 weeks.
Amen.
Working on this shit. 6 weeks.
That's a great question.
We do, like I said.
That's a great question. I'm not sure when this exactly was, but I'm gonna guess that it was sometime recent. Not too recent, but I'm guessing that this was sometime recent though.
What's great about what we do is that I had Anthony Hamilton. I remember Anthony Hamilton had he said, man, nobody want to hear me sing. I go watch it. I would go follow him and watch him sing in places. I'd be the only one in there. It was like he had to sing at this one little open mic thing, and he was singing. I'm like, sing, Anthony! Let the Lord use you, Anthony. Sing, son, sing. I mean, it's great. So the last one we had, I'm gonna tell you the ones that we had. It was amazing, and then I'm gonna go. When Drake hit, I'm in the Bahamas, baby. I'm in the Bahamas. My sister hit me. My sister, she here, dark skin, always in touch. Nigga, you need to get this Drake. I said, nigga, I hit the internet. I said, oh, nigga, I'm in my robe. I grabbed some wine. I said, I forgot to call you on your birthday. I said, I gotta find that dude. So Breon finds him. We actually do a song together. But I was watching him, and I took him on when the redheaded guy took over for Jay Leno. Conan. I took him on Conan. I said, Conan, you don't know who this dude is. I said, his name is Drake, and 2 girls know him. I said, y'all up on it. He about to be the big dude. So when Drake rolled out his thing, his first album, I said, Drake, I'm gonna do a thing for you in my house. It's called New Music Hour, and I call this On My Balcony. I want you to come get on my balcony. So what do you mean? I said, don't worry about it. You'll see. I said, the SUVs will pick you up, bring you to my house. Now I got a bigger house. It's like 40 acres. Women showed up to the party at 3 in the afternoon. Bus pulled up. 30 girls get out. Bus pull up. 40 girls get out. Crazy. I said, well, ladies, he's not going to be here till like 11 because BET time. So we won't be here till 11. We'll wait. It was BET because it was BET Awards.
Oh, okay. We thought you were done.
No. It was the BET Awards that weekend. So I said, listen, he ain't going to be here till 11. So we still setting up, right? By the time he got there, 2,500 people counted in my backyard. When he drove up the driveway, we had a drive-in movie theater poster of him at this artwork. The smooth one with the cut, you know, the peacoat, the bent, and the smooth, the motherfucker with the shit right. You know what I'm saying? No smiles. It's just the motherfucking right.
Now this is before the stroke. What's going on, baby Juju? Yeah, this is before the stroke. This is why they said he had the stroke, pretty much. This is pretty much Big Homie C was saying that because this happened, Diddy got to him, and he told on Diddy.
He drive up with all his boys, and it's funny when before you get your money, everything is too big. Like his Letterman jacket was, he was like, oh man, I said, yeah, man. Dog, I said,
look at the body.
So we get up. I said, hey, Drake. It's a few people in the back want to say hi to you. We walk around, 2,500 people. We go up on my balcony. I said, Drake, now I've done this. Puff was the first major one. Now it's you. We want to give you your artist. We want to, because you're gonna get enough hate. And there's gonna be enough niggas out there to hate. But the fact to what you're doing right now. And so we do the interview, and I hand him the mic, and there's all these people down there. And I said, could you just say something to the people? He said, oh man, what'd I say? I said, nigga, sing something. He leaned over the balcony. I'm more than just an option. The party shot through the roof. We do that till about 4 in the morning. Right. Most people leave. We got 200 people left, 200 or 300 people left. I got a pianist to come around 3 in the morning, played all the music unplugged, rapped his music unplugged. New Music Hour at that time. We sat and we listened to other rappers rap and other people try to get their thing on. They go to like 6 in the morning, wrap it up. Then we moved on to Rick Ross. Did one same situation. Not as many people, but the women.
Oh yeah.
And Puff knew about it. Puff got there early, and left Rick in L.A. because I live outside that. I said, Rick, you better get here. Puff got he's about to leave with everybody, and they got 300 bottles of Ciroc. It's crazy. And when he showed up, I told the DJ, because I had a DJ in the back. I said, listen, when Rick show up, just start playing. These niggas wanna hold me back. These niggas, but don't drop the beat until we walk all the way through the house. When he walked through the house, it's like he had a piccolo. And people was just like this. And then when he finally got into the studio, Puff was standing on top of the things with the Ciroc. These niggas, boom, nigga, crazy. And then we did 2 Chainz and who else was last? But
Ooh, I got the bell ringing. I got them bell.
All right, so as y'all see, if it wasn't for Jamie Foxx doing this, that him being poisoned wouldn't have happened. Pretty much is what Big Homie EC is saying, and a lot of people were just speculating on what happened to Jamie back then, but this pretty much would confirm exactly what happened to Jamie. Him saying all that, even with Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore, you guys heard him saying that Demi Moore had a young Ashton Kutcher, specifically saying that, a young Ashton Kutcher. And we played the video of Demi Moore kissing the young boy when she was 19. I got you, Icon Vonnie. I got you. Demi Moore was, said to be on that too as well. Demi Moore was definitely said to be on the pedophilia chain. As we saw her kissing the young, 13-year-old boy in that video. It's one of those things where you start to, connect the dots here. Even Jamie saying, y'all noticed Jamie saying that he had a young Nick Cannon. A young Nick Cannon sleeping on the couch. Scar Child, what's going on? He had a young Nick Cannon sleeping on the couch. It's very incriminating footage from back in the days, isn't it? Very incriminating footage from back in the days. Now, when I do this, Icon Vonnie, let me say it. When I do this, Icon Vonnie, this live could possibly get removed. I'm just letting you know that now. You thought J. Cole shit got shut down. You thought I got shut down with J. Cole quick. Be playing Beyonce, okay? I'm just telling you now. Just think about what you're asking me to do here. You asked me to play a Beyonce record on here. You saw the stream got shut down with just J. Cole, a record that came out 2 days ago on Instagram. I got shut down playing J. Cole. You will be playing Beyonce. I'm just saying that now. Just say it. But now let me also say this too. Yes, they definitely are the same record. They definitely are the same record, in my opinion. In my opinion, they sound like the same record. If we're actually thinking back to it, A. Marie, One Thing, and Beyonce, Crazy in Love, definitely are similar records, very similar records. But if we're going to be, if we're going to actually pay attention, if we're going to not pay attention, if we're going to go with the timeline of records, you can also say the same thing about Upgrade You in One Thing, because they were around the same time. But next thing I need to get into would be this case here, because I never did read the last lawsuit that came out. I never did read the last lawsuit that actually came out. No, you're definitely not tripping, Icon Vonnie. You're not tripping at all. They're definitely the same record. And now that I'm seeing Stevie J on certain things, I'm wondering, like I said, if they had the same producers that had, if they had similar producers that made that, because they had the same, like, what do you call it, go-go band sounds to it. So let me see here. All right, I got the case pulled up here. I do have the case pulled up. Where's my... Oh, there we go. Thinking Jimmy might be CIA? Man. I'm not gonna put it past it. I'm not gonna put anything past it. I will say that. I won't put anything past it. All right, so let us get down to one of the latest lawsuits, I should say. And when this one came out, I wasn't too in a rush to read it. Only because now we're what? Up to 15 different lawsuits? I can't even, I've lost count of how many lawsuits Diddy has. Right, backspace. All the producers, they reuse so many different bass lines and drum loops. It's unreal. No. I'm just saying the style of the music was very go-go. Very go-go bandish. Not that they were from there, just that the style of the records were very go-go bandish. All right, so we have the Ashley Perham versus Sean Combs here. And it looks like Christina Coram is also in this, but I see a Shane Pierce. And a John Doe 1 through 3 and a Jane Doe. I wonder who the Jane Doe and the John Doe 1 through 3 is, but let me Google real quick who Shane Pierce is. Because that one threw me for a loop real quick. Let me see. Is this it? Is this the guy? She's a manager in Northern Ireland. I wonder if that's the same gentleman here. Let me see. Oh, Diddy friend. I just want to see what Sean Pierce this is. Okay, they're not showing. They don't really have a... That's weird. They don't have a picture of him. Oh, where's this the guy? All right, let me just pull this up real quick for y'all. I'm wondering if this is the same Shane Pierce that we're talking about here. I'm talking about this guy here on the right, Juice Radio. I doubt it would be the doctor up there. But I'm good. My guess is going to be this gentleman here, as far as who Shane Pierce is. But nevertheless, let's get down to our favorite part of things, the allegations, of course. And this one involves supposedly kidnapping. All right, so factual allegations to all counts. So, plaintiff met defendant Shane in February 2018 after an altercation with another man at a bar, and defendant Shane came to plaintiff's rescue. While outside the bar with friends and other patrons, defendant Shane FaceTime video called defendant Diddy and was showing people defendant Diddy in the video on his phone, attempting to impress the people with his famous friend. So Shane pretty much shows Diddy on the FaceTime, on light bulb with more light. I don't know if dude is anybody other than just the guy. Yeah, I'm not sure who Shane Pierce is. I'm really not sure who he is. I've seen his face. I have seen his face before. But I'm just trying to pinpoint where I've seen him. That's what's throwing me for a loop. I can't remember where I've seen him from. I thought it was the gentleman that was in UK, but I could be wrong there too. I think that's a different... No, I think his name is Mike, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. Anyway. Where is it? Okay. Defendant Shane then showed plaintiff defendant Diddy on his video call, which plaintiff ignored, stating she was not impressed by him knowing defendant Diddy because she believed defendant Diddy had something to do with the murder of rapper Tupac. Wow. Well, is that something that kind of fan struck there? Visible in the FaceTime call was defendant Diddy and some of his children, including his sons Christian and Quincy. It appeared from the plaintiff's perspective, defendant Diddy was having a get-together at his home during the time of the FaceTime call with defendant Shane. Was this COVID? Oh, this is 2018. Okay, so no, not COVID time. Defendant Diddy heard plaintiff's statement and made a remark that plaintiff would pay for her statement regarding Tupac and overall dismissal of defendant Diddy. On March 23rd, 2018, defendant Shane invited plaintiff over to his home to assist him with his cancer medications because he stated he was weak and unable to open the medications. Upon plaintiff's arrival, defendant Shane informed plaintiff that he wanted to give her a ride in his new car. Plaintiff and defendant Shane left his residence for a brief period and then returned. Once they returned, defendant Shane left the door to his apartment partially open and stated that the door was ajar because there was an issue with the door where it couldn't close completely. Defendant Shane was renting an apartment on the lower floor of a home in Orinda, California. Defendant Shane had a separate entrance into his residence that led to the backyard of the home. The home also had a main entrance on Loma Vista Drive. Defendant Shane rented the home from a woman who lived in the upstairs portion of the home and had 2 dogs who resided with her. Plaintiff and defendant Shane then began to watch a movie, and defendant Shane offered her a glass of water, which he retrieved and brought back to plaintiff. Approximately 10 minutes after plaintiff and defendant Shane returned from their drive, defendant Diddy entered defendant Shane's residence. Defendant Diddy entered the home in a grand, ready-to-party manner. His grandiose entrance was so loud that the dogs upstairs began barking. Defendant Diddy did not enter the home through the backyard entrance, but instead through the main entrance. Now, this is where things get a little bit fishy here, because Diddy just walking up in, some guy's house through the front instead of using the back. He's not trying to be covert. I mean, as famous as he supposedly is, he's just walking through somebody's front door. This is kind of strange already. That's kind of strange. Along with defendant Diddy were his bodyguard, defendant Doe 1, a woman who plaintiff later identified as defendant KK, so Christina Coram, another woman, small, skinny build, early 30s with blonde, mid-length hair, who plaintiff has still been unable to identify, Jane Doe, defendant Doe 2, who upon information and belief is friend of defendant Shane and Diddy, and defendant Diddy's driver, Doe 3, who remained outside and in his vehicle during the duration of plaintiff's assault. Plaintiff believes defendant Shane invited her over to set her up to be assaulted by defendant Diddy because of the statement she made about defendant Diddy a month prior. Upon defendant Diddy's arrival, he immediately began to antagonize the plaintiff, stating that she thought she would never see him in person. Pay for her statements about Tupac during the video call, and the defendant Diddy caught plaintiff. Plaintiff was in shock, as she never believed that she would ever see or meet defendant Diddy in real life, let alone in the small apartment rented by defendant Shane. Defendant Diddy then began advancing towards where plaintiff was sitting on defendant Shane's bed with a knife and held it to the right side of plaintiff's face, and threatened to give her a glass glow smile in retaliation for her previous statements on the video call. Defendant KK told defendant Diddy that she did not think giving plaintiff a glass glow smile would be advantageous to their potential clients who they could sell plaintiff for sex to. Oh boy, this is getting interesting now. Defendant KK then made a threat to plaintiff that they could ship her off anywhere in the world, and that she would never see her family or anyone she knew ever again. Defendant Shane then partially undressed plaintiff. Then defendant Diddy removed the remainder of plaintiff's clothing, removing the knife from her face, and then retrieved a bottle of liquid from a large fanny pack. Defendant Diddy then squirted a bottle of liquid on plaintiff, which placed her in fear that she was being squirted with a chemical substance like acid. Plaintiff soon realized the substance was an oil lubricant. Uh-oh. Wait a second. 1,000 bottles of baby oil on the wall. 1,000 bottles of baby oil on the wall. 1,000 bottles of baby oil on the wall. I think we caught something here, ladies and gentlemen. Liquid. Let me see something here real quick while we're on this particular part right here. So defendant Diddy squirted a bottle of liquid on plaintiff, which placed her in fear that she was being squirted with a chemical substance like acid, but she soon realized it was oil, lubricant, and squirted this liquid substance over the entirety of her naked body. I wonder now, could it be the baby oil? Could it be? Oh, where's that article at now? Where's that? Baby oil. Baby oil in, was it intoxicated? What was it? What do you call it? Okay, well, they want you to pay for that one, so we won't use them. This is why articles, you news people should not have people pay for shit like this. So Sean Diddy Combs wrote, new lawsuit makes big claim baby oil found at rapper's house spiked. So that baby oil did have shit in it. I'm curious now. It's not baby oil. It isn't the baby oil. Yeah. Thank you. What had happened was, thank you, liquid GHB. It's the liquid cocaine. It's one of the ingredients from the Tusi. It's the liquid part of the Tusi. Isn't this something? Well, ain't that something there? Very good question, Original Me. Very good question. Is it is the oil some type of paralyzing agent? That's a good question there. But it sounds like this stuff is the spiked baby oil is the liquid cocaine here. But yes, I'm guessing now that it pretty much is, because it put her in the it almost acted like its own ecstasy. Yes, paralyzing and also causes you to forget. What had happened was, thank you. It's paralyzing and also causes you to forget. So yeah, this was the drugged baby oil or drugged liquid cocaine that was inside the bottles. It wasn't baby. So the baby oil was pretty much disguised, or should I say, he used it to disguise what he was actually keeping in it. Yeah. This is how he was moving the liquid cocaine through the baby oil. So pretty much, if you have like if you have 1,000 bottles of baby oil just, on your private jet, for example, right? Who's going to necessarily question that? They're just going to be like, why does he have 1,000 bottles of baby oil? And of course, he has a bunch of freak offs. Everybody knows he likes to have sex parties, so nobody's questioning the baby oil part of it, right? Yeah, exactly, Sco. Jamie Foxx was talking about all these same wild things that were happening before he got poisoned. Interesting here. Okay, so let's go further. Let's go further. I didn't mean to skip there either. Didn't mean to skip. Where are we at right here? Where are we at? Okay, the liquid cocaine. Okay. Defendant KK was then told by Defendant Diddy to insert what looked like a syringe, oh my God, from sterile packaging into plaintiff's vagina. Oh. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Defendant KK did as told, and then told Defendant Diddy that she was unable to use the IUD because it had prematurely been released from its packaging. Defendant Diddy, upset by this, took the syringe from Defendant KK and tried inserting it in plaintiff's vagina instead. Oh boy. Defendant KK and Diddy began to argue as Defendant KK continued to advise Defendant Diddy that since the IUD had been prematurely released from its packaging, there was no way they could insert into plaintiff's vagina effectively. After some time, Defendant Diddy heeded the advice of Defendant KK and removed the syringe from plaintiff's vagina and handed it to Defendant KK. So, of course, KK, just so you guys remember, is Christina Quorum, the chief of staff of Bad Boy, pretty much. This is his other, his extra handler, pretty much. Defendant KK and Jane Doe then exited Defendant Shane's residence, leaving plaintiff alone with Defendants Diddy, Shane, and Doe's 1 and 2. Defendant Diddy then picked up a television remote that was near plaintiff and violently inserted it into plaintiff's vagina. So he was just picking up different shit and just stuffing it in her pussy. This is nasty. So warning, I didn't know this was going to be graphic. I mean, this is not as graphic as the Talia Graves one. Like, but first the syringe. Now you sticking remotes up people's for JJ. This is wild right here. Yeah, putting an eye. Matter of fact, let me just so I'm more familiar with this, because as I'm reading it, I need to be more familiar with what that is. What exact? Okay, so IUD. An IUD, which is inserted by a doctor or other healthcare provider during an office visit, can be done at any time during a woman's menstrual cycle. Hold on. Because, see, I'm not familiar with this right here. Yeah, that's what we're about to do right now. We are about to have that education lesson right now because I have no clue. I have no clue. And I need this one I need a lady to, oh, the ladies, if you hear me, I need y'all to explain this shit to me because I don't get this one at all. Oh. Okay. Wait, okay, I see what you're saying now. So pretty much the IUD was, so was he using that? So from what I'm getting at it, right? Was he using the IUD to pretty much help keep the syringe and the remote and all that other shit? Was he using that to keep stuff in there? That's what it sounds like. He was using that to, like, pretty much like a plug. That's what it sounds like. He was using that as some type of damn plug. That's fucking crazy. Oh wow, this is like I said, the Thalia Graves one was graphic, but my God, this one's just as graphic. So defendant Diddy then picked up a television remote that was near plaintiff and violently inserted it into plaintiff's for JJ. Defendant Diddy, while violently raping plaintiff, raving plaintiff, I don't know, you can't say that word. They didn't say that to me before, man. So anyway, plaintiff with television remote told plaintiff that her life was in his hands. That's the wrong way to use that pun. And that if he wanted, he could take her. And she would never be seen again. That does sound like very much Diddy. Plaintiff began hysterically crying from the threats by defendant Diddy, along with the pain of being violently, vaginally raped by defendant Diddy with the television remote, as well as the lingering pain from the ordeal with the IUD syringe insertion. So yeah, the IUD syringe insertion was pretty much like keeping the shit open. That's what it sounds like. It was pretty much like keeping the shit open while he shoved the remote in there. That shit is wild. Defendant Diddy then instructed defendant Shane to turn plaintiff on her stomach. Seemingly tired of hearing the plaintiff's blood-curdling cries, defendant Shane then grabbed plaintiff by her abdomen and hips and turned plaintiff on her stomach. Defendant Diddy then instructed defendant Shane to put a pillow over her head because he didn't want to see her face or hear her cries, and instructed defendant Shane to anally rap plaintiff. I'll just say it like that. To anally rap plaintiff. Damn. Defendant Shane did as he was told by defendant Diddy and began to anally grape plaintiff. Defendant Diddy then violently graped plaintiff anally after defendant Shane. This is sounding like remember I keep saying every time I hear these type of shits, it sounds like that movie Spit on Your Grave. I spit on you. If you ever seen the movie I Spit on Your Grave, I keep saying I hope a lot of these victims one day get the same exact revenge that she got and I Spit on Your Grave that lady got. Or all those ladies got and I Spit on Your Grave. If you never seen I Spit on Your Grave movie, trust me, it's a great horror movie. Definitely watch it for Halloween. You will think twice about cheating on your wife, girlfriend, whatever have you. You will think twice about raping someone, whatever have you. You will think twice about karma in general if you watch I Spit on Your Grave. I think I Spit on Your Grave is one of those things that Diddy actually deserved. One of those type of karmas. If this is the type of shit that he was actually doing to people. Chachi Versace, yes, those movies are all wild. I Spit on Your Grave, all those movies were wild. The Get Backs were very wild. So, and like I said, you have to pay attention to the movie. I'll give that one little spoiler alert. Pay attention closely to the movie in correlation to when she goes to work. The storyline fits it. What had happened was, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, Black Bleach, you know what I'm talking about. That very sick movie, but those kills were all in correlation to storyline. That was what was so unique about it. Like, it was the true definition of giving someone their own karma. Pretty much. That's pretty much what I keep saying to myself should happen to. He deserves his own karma at this point. Defendant Diddy violently raped plaintiff anally after defendant Shane. So defendant Doe then joined defendant Diddy and Shane, taking a turn anally raping plaintiff. Immediately after defendant Doe 2 raped plaintiff, he exited defendant Shane's residence. Defendant Diddy then instructed defendant Doe 1 to also rape plaintiff. Instead of immediately raping plaintiff, defendant Doe 1 doused plaintiff with more lubricant, then jumped on top of plaintiff's naked and oiled body, treating it like a slip and slide and knocking the wind out of plaintiff's due to the enormous size. So who would be this Doe 1? Who would be this Doe 1 that's so huge? Whoever Doe 1 is pretty damn big. Defendant Doe 1 then caught himself from sliding over plaintiff's oil body and off the bed. He then began raping plaintiff vaginally. Wait a second. Let me see something real quick. Rocco. What year did that song come out? 2013. When did the remix drop though? Remix is 2014. I don't know. I'm thinking about if that Doe 1, being that he's such a big person, I'm thinking about if that Doe 1 is Ross, and I'm thinking about the lyrics from You Ain't Know with the Rocco record. I mean, it's a 4-year gap. It's a 4-year gap in between when they said this happened in 2018 and when Ross was talking about I took her home and I enjoyed that and she didn't even know it. So I'm like I said, that was me going off on a tangent, just looking for it real quick because I'm wondering now who this enormous size person is. That's something you can pretty much pinpoint to, right? Like, who is this enormous size person? Another one. That's funny as hell. DJ Khaled, yes, is another one. Let me see. Defendant Doe 1 then caught himself. Okay, so while defendant Doe 1 was raping plaintiff, defendant Diddy sat in a chair near the bed and began masturbating while recording plaintiff's rape by defendant Doe 1. Okay, so this is another freak-off tape that he was pretty much making. It could be a bodyguard. It definitely could be a bodyguard, especially considering the size of the person that they're describing. But I'm wondering now if this is also someone of importance, but she just didn't want to incriminate them because that person is not arrested. You know what I mean? I'm wondering now if she just didn't want to incriminate that person because that person is still on the streets. So that pretty much is why she would make Doe 1 the enormous size guy also. Another party's phone fell off of the bed. And then that's number 6 statistic there, right? Him sitting there masturbating about it, right? Right, there's so many pudgy damn rappers that you can't really pinpoint that one. But who's that? Sadate, what's going on? So the whole thing about him masturbating, right? That's even back in the Cassie lawsuit. It's like, if you notice, a lot of these websites that have that too. Big Joe is another one that's pretty big, but she didn't name Big Joe. Dahlia named Big Joe. I mean, here's the thing: you can't not name Big Joe. You can't not name him. So another party's phone fell off of the bed near plaintiff. Plaintiff then attempted to grab the phone, but it slipped out of her hands and onto the floor due to the oil lubricant. I was going to say it's probably because of that had been doused all over her person by defendants Diddy and Doe 1. Defendant Diddy began laughing at plaintiff's attempt to grab the phone. Throughout this violent gangbang-style grape, defendant Diddy made constant belittling remarks to plaintiff, including that he owned her now. Plaintiff's body was becoming more and more limp over the course of the violent grape until eventually she had no control over her body, nor could she move her body. When defendant Doe 1 finished graping plaintiff, defendant KK entered the room to examine the condition of plaintiff, who was barely able to move or control her bodily functions. Defendant KK examined plaintiff to see if she needed assistance and was about to give plaintiff an IV fluid. Why does he always have these IV fluids just on stand fucking by? Why does he always have these IVs just ready and will? This is why Christina, I guess, is really there. Hey, get the IV, Christina. Make sure they all right. That's what this starting to sound like with Christina. She's the drug carrier, assistant, and carrier of the IV fluid to make sure everybody is okay at the freak off. You want to keep fucking? Go see KK over here. KK? Plaintiff cannot be certain if she did or did not receive. See, there's a typo right there. Certain is. It should be certain if. Certain if she did or did not receive such intravenous intervention. Defendant KK then opened a different bag, different than the other one. Defendant Diddy removed the oil from where plaintiff observed several medicine bottles, IV fluid bags, and other unidentified powder-like drugs. Now, we know what those unidentified powder-like drugs would be. This is going to be the Tusi. The drugs dehydrates, yes. So now the Tusi's coming out. Defendant KK then removed the pill from one of the medicine bottles and gave it to defendant Diddy. Defendant Diddy then inserted the pill into plaintiff's mouth and then and down her throat to where plaintiff had no choice but to ingest the unknown pill. Yes, lock KK up. I'm with that 100%, 1000%. Defendant Diddy, Shane, KK, and Doe 1 then exited the residence to the backyard where they smoked marijuana and cigarettes. So she just laying there, then got butt hit up, baby oil on her, liquid baby oil on her. Let's just say coke baby oil on her, if you will. That's just sad. If this is real, this is sad. This is absolutely sad. Plaintiff remained in an almost lifeless state in defendant Shane's bedroom until she finally regained her bodily functions. Plaintiff then began looking for her clothes and her purse that contained her car keys and cell phone, but could not discover them in the room or anywhere in the apartment. Plaintiff was only able to find a t-shirt on the floor, which she put on to cover her naked body. Plaintiff also observed the black condom wrapper on the floor of the bedroom, which she assumed was used by one of the defendants, most likely defendant Diddy, during the grape. Plaintiff then grabbed a knife from the kitchen and headed to the backyard where the defendants were smoking at, as the only way to exit the premises onto the street. Plaintiff concealed the knife on her left side as she exited the apartment to the backyard area. Upon coming to the exit of the home, which led to the backyard, plaintiff was met by defendant Doe 1, who was standing at the door between the residence and the backyard. So this definitely was a security guard here. Doe 1 is definitely a security guard now that we're pinpointing things. If Doe 1 was just standing there between the residence and the backyard, he pretty much was just on guard, it sounds like. So good observation there. This definitely is a security guard here, this Doe 1 character. Whether it's Big Joe or not is yet to be seen. Right, I know that's right. Grab that knife. Make sure you got some type of weapon going up out here, right? By the time plaintiff was able to compose herself and come to the backyard, defendant KK was no longer in the backyard but upstairs on the patio balcony with defendant Jane Doe. Defendant Doe... Wait a minute. me see something real quick. That's very telling right there. Okay, so we're noticing what people are where, right? Certain people being, what's her name? Christina Coram, I think, right? Yeah, Christina Coram. And this would make sense why she removed that Instagram. Like her Instagram was damn near just wiped clean a minute ago. Like if you were to look up her Instagram, you can't find it. There's like nothing there anymore. Except for like little tags and whatnot. Yeah, you pretty much have to find the different tags for her. Trying to think now, see if I can find a picture real quick before I get back to the case. I just want to see if I can find a picture possibly of her with this supposed friend. Let's see. Let's see if we can find a friend real quick that might be by her on an average day. Nope. All right, I'm going to do some digging on this later on. I don't want to deter too much from the case here. Defendant Doe 1 allowed plaintiff to walk to the backyard where defendants Shane and Diddy were still smoking. So defendant Doe 1 did not see the knife that plaintiff concealed on her left side, as it was obstructed by the oversized t-shirt plaintiff was wearing. Plaintiff observed defendant Diddy still partially nude from the assault, while defendant Shane and Doe 1 had on their clothing. Defendant Shane then left to the upstairs portion of the patio balcony where defendant KK and Jane Doe were already situated. Plaintiff then sat down on a makeshift seat in the backyard when defendant Diddy noticed her presence and remarked that it was surprised she was able to walk because he had given her enough drugs to take out a horse. So he literally said that. He gave her enough drugs to take out a horse. Definitely sounds like he had the Tusi with him, as well as the liquid cocaine. Plaintiff then asked defendant Diddy what he gave her, and he laughed and did not provide a response. Defendant Diddy then made further comments to plaintiff in a jovial, friendly manner, asking her why they hadn't partied together before, because it was so much fun and he hadn't had any ass that tight in a while. Defendant Doe 1 then quipped at defendant Diddy that he probably hadn't had any ass that tight because he's not used to having anal sex with women, which defendant Diddy and Doe 1 laughed at. Oh, wow, that's funny. That's funny. Plaintiff then told defendant Diddy she did not party with him and she did not enjoy partying with him, and that he raped her. Defendant Diddy did not like plaintiff's response to his lighthearted commentary and offered plaintiff money and instructed so wait. All right. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, this does sound crazy, right? But hear me out. This is something that's definitely boggling my mind now. Supposedly she's been intoxicated with this lubricant, right? She's been drugged with this damn lubricant of liquid cocaine. On top of, he threw the Tusi at her. On top of, she's been raped up her ass, right? I now have the same question of how in the fuck is she this coherent? Now I'm starting to wonder now, how is she even this damn conscious to even have a functioning conversation with him? Number one. Number two, majority of the victims Don't necessarily remember having a fucking conversation with the guy. Number 3, yeah, on top of the damn remote. My goodness. Number 3, somebody explain to me why she's, why is she just butt naked talking to him? And why haven't they, not saying they should, but how did this encounter happen and then turn into a regular conversation after people just took a smoke blunt in the backyard? I am a little confused of this now scenario here. Unless someone was extremely high and this conversation happened in their head somehow. Plaintiff became enraged. Oh, excuse me, I forgot part. Defendant Diddy did not like plaintiff's response to his lighthearted commentary on and offered plaintiff money and instructed plaintiff to say that the violent grape was consensual and that the plaintiff was a sex worker. Yes, possibly adrenaline. You're absolutely right. Euphoria is literally a side effect, so they mad and happy at the same time. So pretty much, okay, I get what you're saying. So pretty much she checked out. Even if she was high on everything and incoherent, mentally she pretty much checked out all the way. I got you. Plaintiff became enraged and yelled at defendant Diddy that he raped was not consensual. She was not a sex worker, and she refused to take any money from him and would tell the police that he had raped her, which she did. Which she definitely did. Defendant Diddy then told plaintiff no one would ever believe she had been raped by him, and if she did tell anyone, such that they would harm her family. Defendant Doe 1 then showed plaintiff his phone, which looked as if it was outside of plaintiff's estranged sister's residence, as she could see her sister sitting on the couch and her sister's spouse on the balcony. It looked as if someone was outside the residence streaming this video to defendant Doe 1's phone. So so now it even sounds like there was definitely a setup there. That pretty much while she was forced to go to the home, someone was sent to the sister's house, and there's already a feed of the sister's home being sent to her. I get that part already. Plaintiff, while rattled by what she was seeing on defendant Doe 1's phone, was still angry about being gang raped, and was not complying with defendant Diddy's request to take the money being offered to say the rape was consensual. Defendant Diddy then called his mother in an effort to further convince plaintiff not to... Wait, what? He called his mother? What? Am I reading this right? Wait, what? Defendant Diddy then called his mother in an effort to further convince the plaintiff not to report her assault. Defendant Diddy's mother yelled at plaintiff to not hurt her son. Plaintiff told defendant Diddy's mother that her son had violently raped plaintiff. Defendant Diddy's mother, seemingly unfazed by the statement, then continued her demands with plaintiff to take the money being offered and not report the rape to law enforcement. Yeah, this is a whole damn Tubi movie. This is Ashley Perham. That's the plaintiff, Ashley Perham. I am so confused by this. That last part threw me for a loop. I was already confused by the having a coherent conversation, butt naked and intoxicated baby oil in Tusi. I was already skeptical of that. Mama wig, you funny as hell. Lock mama wig up. But now I'm seeing you done called your mama. Someone explain to me, and I don't know if this is even gonna sound far-fetched, But someone explain to me how this conversation actually went. Because this just ain't adding up. He called his mom to convince the plaintiff to take the money. Correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't she have a knife? I don't hear about anyone trying to wrestle the knife from her. Why isn't she just fucking trying to leave? Yes, I definitely believe that relationship was possibly incestuous. I definitely believe that. Especially with how their relationship is shown publicly. I definitely believe there's something there with that. I don't believe this whole called his mother thing to enforce that she takes the money. This is getting wilder and wilder. Defendant Diddy then made further threats that he had gotten off from. Now, see, this is what doesn't make any sense, right? This is what doesn't make any sense to me. You called your mom to convince her to take the money. You called the mom. He called the mom, right? Someone explained to me how if the first offer didn't work, and the first offer was very violent, either do this or your sister dies. If the first one didn't work, how do we arrive at, let me call my mama? Let me call my mama. I'm going to tell my mama on you. How do we arrive at this? I'm very, intrigued to know how do we arrive at I'm going to tell mommy. Wow. Defendant Diddy then made further threats that he had gotten off from bigger crimes than this, and referred to Tupac again, further antagonizing plaintiff. I've gotten off from bigger crimes, and referred to Tupac. Talking about doing something and saying something to piss somebody off, huh? Defendant Doe 1 then turned to Defendant Diddy and pulled his gun on him, asking him to repeat what he said in reference to Tupac. As the two of them were exchanging words, plaintiff went behind Defendant Doe 1, where he seemingly began to protect plaintiff. So let's back up a little bit. Doe 1 turned to Defendant Diddy and pulled his gun on him, asking him to repeat what he said in reference to Tupac. So whoever this was is a fan of Tupac and doesn't take it, doesn't take light to people saying this. And we're talking about 2018 here. Who was this Doe 1? This Doe 1 was a Tupac fan. Very heavy set. Let's think of some key factors here about this Doe 1. We have a heavy set gentleman, oversized as she put, too damn big for the bed, was using her like a slip and slide. So now I'm wondering, who is this Doe 1? We need to figure this out. We might not figure it out tonight, but I'm going to do some digging on who this Doe 1 could be. Whoever Doe 1 is a Tupac fan that was around him. And obviously was not around the times of the Gene Deal days. So we have to figure this out here of who could possibly be this Doe 1. Diddy. Oversized friend. This is a long shot here. Oversized friend. I mean, he's only got one. That would be Rick Ross or something, but Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure who this oversized friend would be. As I'm looking up different pictures of some people that might give me an idea, I'm not sure who this oversized gentleman would be, unless it would be like I mean, this is left field. It's left field as hell, but Sean Kingston. Like I said, it's left field as fuck. 2018. This was 2018. Nah, I doubt it was Jay. This doesn't sound like Jay's MO. It doesn't sound like Jay's MO. I mean, I thought about Ross also. No, I saw what happened was this. I saw that comment as well. I thought about Ross. Because remember, I was looking up the record of You Ain't Know. 2018 Khaled. See, Khaled was gay then. Well, Khaled was gay 2016, 2018. He was 2017 and 2018 is what and 2019 is what Jonathan Hayes said. Through 2016 to 2019. Where was this? Was this in Miami? I don't think they're all famous either, but it's just interesting that, they might be somebody. We are definitely getting clues to who these does are, though. One clue, for example, Christina Quorum, is the Jane Doe just pretty much stuck to her hip. So if we can pretty much pinpoint someone that's pretty much like close to Christina Quorum and just sticks to her hip, we can pretty much pinpoint who the Jane Doe is. Same thing with the John Doe. The John Doe 1, we hear different clues like he's oversized. And then we hear the second clue of he's a Tupac fan. Obviously a heavy Tupac fan, because the man just pointed his weapon right at Diddy. Said, what'd you say about Tupac? Nah, I doubt Keefe D. I doubt Keefe D very much. But let's see. Because we're at 97. I want to see if they have let's see if they show this real quick. So, okay, so yeah, this is in Miami. This was in Florida, I should say. It doesn't say where Shane Pierce's home was, though. When we got down to the allegations, it didn't say where Sean Pierce's home was for some reason. I couldn't for the life of me understand that part either. Yeah, I wonder if it was Sean Kingston. It could be the least obvious, but then also it could be a bodyguard. Fat Joe is another possibility. Fat Joe is definitely another possibility. Especially considering the Tupac line. And Fat Joe's love for Tupac. You can definitely... Well... Was Fat Joe more of a Pac fan than Biggie? Or was he a Biggie fan more than Pac? Is the real question there. Actually... Let me think now. Because it was either Biggie or Pac that actually mentioned in one of their interviews that I think it was Pac, that said he was well aware of Fat Joe. And that he actually took yes, because Napoleon said that. Napoleon from the Outlaws had confirmed that Tupac was a fan of Fat Joe. Back in his early days and knew he was coming up. You guys are figuring out the address here? Arena near San Francisco or Nori. Nori would be a little bit on the small side. Nori's a little bit on the smaller than the oversized. And so they said the person was oversized. So whoever this is was a pretty huge guy. That's why we're at the. That's why I was thinking Rick Ross, but that might not have been it either. Okay, so where are we at? We at 97 here. Okay, so defendant Diddy then made further threats that he had gotten off from bigger crimes. Then okay, this is what the Tupac thing. So okay, so defendant Doe 1 then turned to defendant Diddy and pulled his gun on him, asking him to repeat what he said about Tupac. As the two of them were exchanging words, plaintiff went behind defendant Doe 1, where he seemingly began to protect plaintiff. Defendant Doe 1 then advanced to defendant Diddy, questioning him over the comments he made about Tupac. During this commotion, a neighbor directly across the street came outside and why didn't they question this witness here? And peered into the backyard and asked what all the commotion was about. Defendant Doe 1 then pointed the gun at the neighbor and instructed him to mind his business and return to his residence. That does sound like a Ross move. Either that or a bodyguard, for real. Whoever did that knew what they were doing handling the gun that way and asking that question. Or should I say, making that demand. Defendant Doe 1 then turned the gun back on defendant Diddy. Plaintiff, not far behind defendant Doe 1, tried to grab defendant Doe 1's hand and that had the gun. The gun then went off and hit a hill behind defendant Shane's residence. Defendant Diddy then ran up the back stone stairs near the hill in the backyard towards where defendant KK, Shane, and Jane Doe were. Plaintiff charged towards defendant Diddy, moving the concealed knife from her left hand to her right hand, and in pursuit of Diddy. So she chased after him with the knife after the gun went off. I'm still confused by that whole scenario right there of you went for the gun goes off, Diddy runs away, Christina and Jane Doe is somewhere else, but you knew that he was running over there. Yeah, E40 don't play about Pac, but E40 also had a little bit of beef with Pac prior to their initial meeting. I'll just say it like that. Oh no, it's Biggie, actually. That was Biggie he set up like that. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Plaintiff then raised the knife in a rage from the events that just transpired, and with the intent of driving the knife into defendant Diddy's back. When he turned around and began pleading for his life, plaintiff, shocked now to see defendant Diddy acting as a victim, had a moment of clarity and then turned and ran down the outdoor stone staircase back out to the backyard to escape. Defendant Diddy then chased plaintiff down the stairs and attempted to push her, but she was already at the bottom of the stairs and gained her footing and wielded the knife at defendant Diddy, gazing his abdomen. This is definitely sounding like a hostile situation here. That's just starting to sound like hostile. And she just got away. Right? Well, I'm glad she got away too. Hearing the commotion, defendant KK and Jane Doe emerged, and defendant KK then began administering first aid to defendant Diddy for the injuries caused by plaintiff. Plaintiff tried to make quick dash for the exit, but it was thwarted by defendant Doe 1. After a period of time, plaintiff was able to abscond from defendant Doe 1 due to the first aid commotion with defendant Diddy, and was able to run down the street. Once plaintiff made it to the street, she began yelling loudly for someone to call police. Medusa, what's going on? What's going on, Miss Medusa? How you doing this evening? Happy Saturday to you. Happy Saturday, mother moderator. I do see my boy Fury B is doing a great job with moderator. He's holding it down while you wasn't here, Medusa. Y'all to my moderators. I love what y'all do. I appreciate y'all managing the chat. Making sure things is copacetic up in there. Making sure things are good up in there. I greatly appreciate that. We'll just say that. Defendant Doe 1, who had now caught up with plaintiff, advised plaintiff that he was an undercover cop. To this day, plaintiff is unsure of the truth or falsity of the statement. The same neighbor then again emerged from his residence asking what was transpiring. Just as plaintiff was attempting to answer, gunshots began being fired in plaintiff's direction. Steve Stout a little bit on the small side, too. Steve Stout a little bit on the small side. It's a little bit on the small side. I didn't mean to hit the mic just now. That was my hat. Plaintiff fled to a car near where the neighbor was also taking cover and lost sight of defendant Doe 1. Plaintiff then heard an SUV screeching and speeding, leaving the residence. Plaintiff then entered the home of the neighbor, who informed her that he had already called police. Plaintiff informed the neighbor that it was Sean Combs who had raped her and shot at them, but the neighbor was unaware who definitely Diddy was. That's funny as hell in itself. Shortly thereafter, a sheriff, he didn't change his name so many times, it's hard to keep up, right? Shortly thereafter, a sheriff from the Contra Costa Sheriff's Department arrived at the neighbor's home. They did their due diligence already. Plaintiff told the sheriff she had been violently gang raped by defendant Diddy and others, and that she did not have her clothes, phone, purse, car keys, or cell phone. The sheriff told plaintiff and the neighbor that they had received several noise complaints prior to the neighbor's call and instructed plaintiff to find a way to get home. The sheriff did not offer to take plaintiff home. That's messed up. Nor did he call for emergency services, including an ambulance, nor any, sound like somebody was in on it right here, nor any offer to take plaintiff to the hospital, nor any offer to help plaintiff recover her clothes or effects from defendant, plaintiff recover her clothes or effects from defendant Shane's residence. Okay, there's the comeback. The neighbor offered to let plaintiff sleep on his couch until she could figure out a way to get her possessions and get home. But plaintiff declined and only remained at the neighbor's residence for a short period of time. Once the sheriff left, plaintiff then went back to defendant Shane's residence, where she found the door open and her clothes were readily accessible in his residence. Defendant Shane then emerged as if nothing had transpired and offered for plaintiff to stay at his residence while she slept it off. Plaintiff asked for her purse and her keys, but defendant Shane told her she couldn't leave in her condition. She couldn't leave in her condition. Let's see. Okay. So plaintiff asked for her purse and her keys, but defendant Shane told her she shouldn't leave her in her condition. And plaintiff, catatonic and in the state of shock and disbelief of the events that transpired, stayed at defendant Shane's home while defendant Shane left the home. Later that morning, defendant Shane returned to the residence and woke plaintiff up and finally gave her back her purse. I'm super confused by this now. Super confused now. She slept at the house? Here we television, what's going on? Ooh boy. Later that morning, defendant Shane returned to the residence and woke plaintiff up and finally gave her back her purse, cell phone, and keys, and plaintiff left defendant's residence. What's not adding up to me is, how did you end up sleeping at his house? He supposedly gang raped you, and because you had nowhere to go, you said, you went back. I don't even understand this right here. So in the days, plaintiff returned home and tried to make sense out of what happened to her. I'm still trying to make sense out of this whole goddamn complaint. On March 26, 2018, plaintiff, let it go, March 26, huh? Contacted her primary care doctor and asked for an HIV and STD test in fear of possibly having contracted the disease from her violent rape. Plaintiff tried to continue her life as she felt she wouldn't be believed, as plaintiff already had told Contra Costa sheriff's defendant Diddy raped her to no avail, which of course she said that. No one believed her, no one helped her. Further, plaintiff was under the impression if she did continue to say defendant Diddy's name in relation to her assault, she would not be believed and her family would be in danger. Which back then, it pretty much was true what she was saying. Family would be in danger. Your family would definitely be in danger. And as far as the believing part, look how long it took for people to start actually believing Jaguar Wright. Just saying. Seemingly mere days, maybe even the day before plaintiff's vicious rape, defendant Shane had miraculously began driving a new car. Plaintiff believes this was a payment by defendant Diddy for setting up plaintiff to be raped. A few weeks later, in April 2018, plaintiff, still in pain and reeling from the horrific assault, went to the hospital. As her injuries had not subsided from the assault. The hospital conducted several tests on plaintiff, including a grape kit, and ultrasound and x-rays. Additionally, plaintiff was given IV fluids to stabilize her vitals as she was in a severe weakened state from being unable to eat and losing a substantial amount of weight since the grape occurred. While at the hospital, plaintiff told members of her treatment team about her horrific assault, and they then contacted the Walnut Creek police. So let me just read that whole sentence over right here. It's just like I said, a lot of things ain't missing. While at the hospital, plaintiff told members of her treatment team about her horrific assault. Okay. So I gotta do anything. So Walnut Creek police showed up to plaintiff's hospital room and took a statement regarding her assault on March 23rd. Plaintiff had already told Contra Costa sheriffs about her rape and that it was defendant Diddy who orchestrated it. So that's pretty much what got it put back in the limelight right now. I gotta get that part. That's what I gotta put it back in the limelight right there. Okay. Where are we at here? It goes about her rape and that it was defendant Diddy who orchestrated it in March 23rd, 2018. So now we got a date too. So we got March 23rd, 2018, which that was ignored. Plaintiff declined to refuse. Let's see what else we got here. Plaintiff declined to refer to defendant Diddy again to Walnut Creek police because she believed she would be ignored by the Walnut Creek police, just as she was by the Contra Costa County Sheriff, and or would be further harmed by defendant Diddy if he discovered she named him to police. Plaintiff only told Walnut Creek police about the assault from the defendants Shane and Doe 2. Plaintiff believes her statement made to Walnut Creek police while at the hospital were captured by police body cam footage. Plaintiff further believes her statements made to the Contra Costa Sheriff on March 23rd, immediately after the vicious assault, where plaintiff named defendant Diddy directly and by name, was captured by the police body cam footage. Plaintiff also filed a report to the Orinda Police Department on April 17, 2018, but again, but again, was too afraid to name defendant to be named defendant Diddy as one of the assailants. Okay. Okay. So plaintiff also filed a report to the Orinda Police Department on April 17, 2018, but again was too afraid to name defendant Diddy as one of her assailants. During this report, plaintiff provided her clothing to the police from the other night. Clothing to police from the other night of the assault, but they only retained her underwear. To date, the underwear was never returned, and plaintiff believes no investigation ever commenced. Plaintiff sought assistance from therapists in May 2018, one of which tried to have her therapy appointments covered by a victim's compensation fund. Okay. Which was rejected because plaintiff was told no law enforcement agency had opened an active investigation into any of her many reports of her violent gang rape. Subsequently thereafter, plaintiff first asked police for a copy of her, I want to say it's early DVD days. But subsequently thereafter, plaintiff asked police for a copy of her report here. Okay, where are we at here? Subsequently thereafter, plaintiff asked police for a copy of her report from the Walnut Creek Police Department. July 19, 2018, plaintiff was provided a letter from the Walnut Creek Police Department stating that it was unable to furnish this information as it is confidential and not subject to public release, despite plaintiff not being the public and the victim complaint. In March 2024, plaintiff was re-traumatized by all of the events surrounding defendant Diddy, including the several civil complaints filed against him, as well as the raid on defendant Diddy's California and Florida residences. Plaintiff called Contra Costa sheriffs again in hopes of renewing her previous complaint and amending it to ensure Jonathan Diddy has been leaving us a lot of information. That's why I never want to interrupt him about what's going on here. Diddy's name was included. Yes, he can't really shoot. Diddy's name included. Plaintiff received no response from the stiff. Okay, so let's see here. Plaintiff called Contra Costa sheriffs again in hopes of renewing her previous complaint and amending it to ensure defendant Diddy's name was included. Plaintiff received no response from the sheriff. So plaintiff in July 2024 then emailed the chief of the sheriff's office regarding her complaint, lack of investigation, and how she was treated by the initial responding officer. Plaintiff then later received the call back from the detective, but then nothing further. Plaintiff then began seeking legal counsel of her claims, ultimately being referred to undersigned for representation. Undersigned counsel also attempted to give a copy of the 2018 police report from Contra Costa sheriffs, but was told that they would not provide that, as well as the report and any other information without through the substar right there. Okay, so that was pretty much it right there. So undersigned counsel also, and then we got the first goes back. So undersigned counsel also attempted to get a copy of the 2018 police report from Contra Costa Sheriffs, but was told that they would not provide the report or any information without a subpoena. Yes, I appreciate y'all hitting the like up there. The likes actually get the people to see the guru, see the channel better. So when you guys, if you're already subscribed, you'll definitely see the lives first more than anything. But needless to say, these allegations sound far-fetched. Not that the sex part doesn't sound far-fetched. It sounds more, Okay. That was just not as graphic as Thalia Graves was, but it can be. Definitely can be. It's crazy how they keep saying they was gonna make Diddy the new Drake. Drake is kind of his own monster and in his own lane. It needs to stay that way. Okay, so let's what else we got here? What else we got here? What else is on the itinerary? I know it wasn't too much. Needless to say, my only thing about this case is too much inconsistency. Let me first and foremost say that, right? Just reading the whole thing, it sounded like a comic book adventure. Let me also say that and be very transparent. This whole Ashley Prim competition is definitely rebounded with. Definitely we definitely gotta see about this one here. This one's gonna fuck with me. Hit the like as soon as you pop in every time. I appreciate, like I said, y'all hitting the likes. I greatly do. This one's gonna bother me only because I gotta really figure out who these does are. I really want to figure out more so than anything who the does are. That's the thing that's bugging me right now. Yeah, they are both monsters on their own. I definitely agree with you there. They're monsters on their own. They definitely are monsters upon their own. Where was I gonna go after this? I just want to look at some funny shit real quick. I do want to look at some funny shit. And not really funny, but, somebody is, taking upon themselves to try different genres. And I, for one, am here for it. Now, before y'all leave, understand, if you haven't heard this before, there's a reason I'm playing this. What fucking cartel music? You see the guy on the roof? you see the guy walking around on the roof with the AK out? Bruh ain't playing. Bruh wasn't playing. I gotta just pause that. Bruh right there ain't playing. He ain't playing up there. Anybody make one false fucking move around that gate, goddammit. That's it. Yeah, right, what? I'm trying to tell you. Metro! Man. I'm trying to... That was the thing. I was in here, when I first heard it earlier, I was like, I can't do no type of Spanish, but that boy was hitting them Spanish notes, wasn't he? Like Kendrick said, right? We are all here for Singer Drake. Everybody's here for Singer Drake. We not here for rapper Drake no more. But Singer Drake? But Spanish singing cartel music. I started saying to myself, okay, now it's making more sense why this nigga took his ass to Texas. Now it's making more sense why somebody done moved to fucking Texas, huh? Reason why I say that. Have y'all seen Champagne Puppies?
¿Qué tal? Soy Drake y en honor a que recientemente adquirí un lugar.
Oh no, it gets worse. But wait, it gets worse. Drake, Diddy, Khaled, all of them. That's it. It's starting to make a lot of sense now.
Lugar en Texas, en honor al lanzamiento del álbum de mi hermano Chino Vaca. Pensé que sería bueno ponerme el atuendo adecuado por una vez. Y las botas son de Chrome Hearts, por cierto, por si acaso. Pensé que tendríamos algunas bebidas, haríamos unos tragos de tequila, jugaríamos un poco con el bistec y esperaríamos un buen momento. Vamos a hacerlo, vamos a tomar un trago.
Está bien, jefe.
Y shot, sí. Mi ayudante de rancho aquí, picante. Estoy enfermo.
Sí, hola a todos.
Ustedes se ven delgados.
Sí, que. Wow. Yes. Maltese. Oh, Dios mío. Yes,
sir.
Hey, now. Did we win? Hey.
Wow. Sí.
Done. This is done.
Hello.
Oye.
¿Qué tal?
Like, very comedic. Very comedic. I keep saying to myself, what has Kendrick done to this nigga? What has Kendrick Lamar done to this nigga? Poor Aubrey. Aubrey ain't been the same. Aubrey just ain't been the same, has he? He ain't been the same. I'm telling you. Guess Drake said rap turned him on, so let me find me some new hustle. That's what I'm talking about. Definitely getting the reggaeton. Yeah, rap is done with you. Rap is done with Drake. Reggaeton, we here for it. Ain't that what happened to Tekashi 6ix9ine? Rap didn't want to deal with the nigga no more. Take your gay ass snitching on over there. You homo thug and you snitching? Take your ass on over there. Take your ass on over there. Take your ass to reggaeton. Do something with that. Do some do some of that. Diddy with tunnels under his houses. Yes. I mean, like I said, that makes sense as well. Like, all this is starting to tie in. All this is starting to definitely tie in. You know, the cartel music, even, or should I say, who's Drake involved with? You know what I mean? Out there in Texas. It's interesting, yo. Yes, he's definitely doing what he does best with the acting. That was very hilarious. That's, as I said, very hilarious. I didn't think he was being serious, of course, but very hilarious. Drake knows how to poke fun at Drake. He knows how to poke fun at himself a lot. So, got to give him kudos to there. What kudos to do. All right, what else did I have left here? What did I have left here? Okay. All right. Oh, thank you.
Soy Drake y en honor a que recientemente adquirí un lugar en Texas, en honor al
All right, where are we?
Lanzamiento del álbum.
Where are we at here? What we got left? Okay. So I'm gonna save that one for different times. I am going over something else. I'm gonna save Rich Homie Quan's body cam footage for a different time because I'm trying to look something else up for it. So, but I do have Victor Ramos. Since we're on the Spanish tip, right? No Diddy. I have a gentleman by the name of Victor Ramos. And Victor Ramos is an ex-police officer. But Victor Ramos has some pretty good intel on what Freemasonry
Pensé que sería bueno ponerme el atuendo adecuado por una vez. Y las botas.
All right. Spanish Drake gotta go. Spanish Drake gotta shut up right now. Anyway, an ex-police officer has intel on what really happens with Freemasonry involvement in the police precinct.
All right, brother. You said that you had also Masonic, right?
Well, my career in law enforcement, I actually joined the Brotherhood of Freemasons.
Okay. How'd you get into that?
Man, a lot of cops are involved with that.
Really?
Oh yeah. It is. It's a thing that I'm not saying you must do, but 95% of them do. You know what I mean?
Now, what's the benefit out of it? Like, what's the main purpose?
Actually,
95.
For me, if you're going to ask me the question, I think it was more like biblical history.
Oh, okay.
What intrigued me the most was they talked about King Solomon's temple and the Holy of Holies, and I've always been intrigued by it.
So this actually exists?
Yes, it does. It's the occult. It's nothing to be messing with.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you straight up.
All right.
And there's 3 phases. The first phase is enter apprentice.
Okay.
Even before you get to that phase, you got to be pretty much spoke about.
Okay.
To be one, you have to ask one. So one of my supervisors, he was a lieutenant, pretty much came up to me and asked me, "Hey, you want to join a club?" And I'm like, "What kind of club is it?" You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, it's a Freemasons. I did my background, on them and did my research, and I've seen a lot of positive things that came out of doing the research. A lot of them donate money to cancer victims and children's with cancer, and the Shriners, they have their own hospital and
exactly, Fury B. Remember Mayor Eric Adams, who became a Mason? Or should I say, what was it? Let me break that same exact article real quick. You pull up that same exact article about Eric Adams and Masonry. Eric Adams, Freemason, what was it? Yes, he got named a Master Mason. That's what it was. I couldn't remember what it was exactly, but Mayor Eric Adams had became he was named a Master Mason. And he had the ceremony. The crazy thing was that was the day before, I think. It was the day before literally he got the indictment. Is when he became a Master Mason. The day right before. That's the wild part of that.
So forth, and I was in a position where I'm working with juvenile offenders. Well, why not? Why not do something in the outside? You know what I mean? So my lieutenant spoke for me and 2 other of my fellow brothers in blue, and they petitioned. We petitioned for a spot in the Brotherhood and filled out applications, and they did a background. They do a background on you, see if you're good standing, or else they won't take you.
Wow.
What they do is they take men to make them better. That's what they say. But only God could do that.
Right.
No club could do that for you.
That's right.
So right around 2006, I'm on my 4th year. I'm a 4th or 5th year on the job. I petitioned. It all went pretty good, and they do a house interview.
Okay.
So I had I mean, like 20, 30 people come to my house, and they spoke to my wife because they speak to the females first.
Wow.
I don't know why, but they usually do that because you're not gonna be around as much when you go into meetings, or you got to do take time off to do work as far as donating, getting money for donations and and so forth. So I didn't see that quite a bit, as far as going out there, doing that type of work first, because you have to go through rituals first. The first phase is the inner apprentice phase. That's phase one, and you do your rituals. They take you in and they tie a toe to your ankle. Made of
tie a toe.
A toe, yeah, ankle toe. They call it the ankle toe, and it's made out of what do you call it? It's like a harness. It's like a tie. They tie it around your leg, and they raise your pants leg up, and you're there in a suit, and then you go around. And, you're blindfolded, so you can't really see the actual temple. It's a temple. You got Joaquin and Boaz on one side. The two towers, which is the two pillars. Or so the Freemasons.
This is like big time.
Oh, it's a ritual.
This is like sacred stuff. Like
yeah. But see, the way they cookie cut it is that they only get the ones that are like, I would say the ones that are really interested and the ones that are clean cut.
Right.
All right. And I'm going to add the devil to this too.
Okay.
Because when you're in the world, you're of the devil. Your father, the devil, right?
Right.
When you don't have God on your mind at all times, from when you wake up in the morning to when you go to sleep at night, you're of your father, the devil. And I'm just going to say it like that, but I'm going to be bold and honest, Right. I was in the right state of mind then. I had some marital problems, so I felt like this was an outlet for me to get out and have fellowship with other brothers.
Right, because you wasn't getting that with the churches.
I wasn't getting that with the churches back home because, they were preaching prosperity.
Right. Okay.
Give me $1, God gives you 1,000. God doesn't work that way, man. You got to work for, you got to work to eat. So, nah, don't wait for a handout.
So how long did the first phase last?
What they do is they bring you into the temple, and they have the secretary, which is a male. We're all males. There's no female Masons here. I know in Europe, I think they do, not here. Unless you're an Eastern Star, that's different.
Okay.
But the Freemasons, you got the Blue Lodge, which is composed of all different nationalities and backgrounds of Masons,
right,
to include different religious sets. Hindu, Muslim, whatever. You could be atheist, they don't care. You could be Satan. You could be a devil worshiper. Wow. And they'll bring a devil worshiping Bible right there, Satanic Bible, so you could.
So that is a derivative of the word boule. So the boulage basically was the derivative to boule, or should I say the extension. So what I'm saying is the boulage is the circumference of all of the religions, pretty much, that can be tied in with Freemasonry in a sense. So you could have someone that's of Indian Hindu belief, but they still be a Freemason. The boule is actually just the black Freemasons, pretty much. Again, an extension of the boulage is the boule.
You take the oath. Yeah, they don't care. See, I didn't know that until I started doing more homework on it. What did I get myself into? But
did you ever get that far?
Oh yeah, I became a Master Mason.
Okay.
The highest you can go is 33rd. But even at 32nd, from the ranks of 30th to 33, which is 3, that's when they divulge the actual truth to you.
I got you.
Which they have you in darkness all those years, and then once you start climbing up the rituals and the phases, and you go up the ranks or degrees,
right,
we call it. You could go from the 3rd degree to the 32nd degree in a weekend.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you could do it in 2 days. They call that the fast track. But usually to get that high, it takes years. Wow. It takes years, but you could do it the other way. You got to pay some money or talk to whoever.
I heard that some people, if I might be mistaken, but I know some of these rich people, these Hollywood people, they give land, millions of dollars.
Oh yeah. It all depends, because those are called dues, right?
Okay.
And you talking about occultic, satanic individuals that work in Hollywood, reverence, of money, of people of power. I didn't know all that. Because when you got scales in your eyes, you can only see so much.
Right.
But when God removes those blinds off your eyes, you start seeing who's who for what they are.
Wow.
And not every Masonic lodge. I mean, they all talk about the same, but everybody's different. Because in order for you to be a Shriner, you got to be a Mason. For you to be a Knights Templar, you got to be a Mason. And the more you go up in that pyramid, and the highest you could go is a Rothschild.
Right.
They're the highest of the highest.
Really?
Yeah, they're the satanic children of Satan.
Wow.
They actually sit on the table and they have a special chair for Satan right there. And he comes and talks to these family members, and they're the ones that the shaking and bakers, I call it.
Now, this all has to do also with the those people who go out into the wood and they burn that wooden owl and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you talking about the Illuminati?
Illuminati, okay. So
right.
This has to do with them.
Oh yeah, you have to be a Freemason to be that. All the presidents were Freemasons.
Okay.
A small portion weren't, but they were Jesuits. This is the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, even the Pope. They don't. And I'm gonna be honest. They don't actually have to do the whole ritual. They have to watch.
Right.
And because of their power and rank within the church.
But it's still controlled by them.
Oh yeah, everything is controlled by the white and black Pope.
Yeah.
So black and white, which is white and black tiles, is where we have our temple.
That's where you get that.
Yeah, the yin yang. The good versus evil. You got to have one of the balance. And that's the.
Pay attention to all of these symbols, as all of these symbols we will be using to go over the music industry music videos that we go over now. Remember, I told you, I am putting together a compilation of different videos. All of these Masonic symbols are comprised inside of these music videos.
Work of the devil. God doesn't work that way. He doesn't manifest that way. That's all the trick of the devil. The devil knows the Bible better than me and you put together, because he was there when God was putting it together. And of course he fell, of course, but he knows.
Yeah.
He could twist the word of God and make it so clean like honey in your mouth. They say, well, this guy is a man of God. But no, you got to go beyond that, honey.
Right.
You got to go around it and do your research, because they're going to give themselves up. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys and women, men and women that work in Hollywood, they're all Satanists.
I bet.
All of them are Satanists. And you know what? Anybody could tell me different. I really don't care, because I know. Certain hand signs that you do, the pyramid, the rock, Jay-Z calls this the rock, is a pyramid.
Right.
All right? But in that pyramid, there's 13.
Right. You also got the, what was this?
Well, that's the horns of the devil.
Right.
The devil's horns, yeah. And, that's Illuminati. You could use it for the Shriners use it too.
Right.
That's the Moloch.
Okay.
Moloch is the actual owl that they worship out in California. All these big shots, big corporations, they go there, and that's where they make the presidents too.
Really?
They make presidents there. They know which president they're going to make. They make them. All this political stuff, that's just BS. That's bullshit.
Why?
That is bullshit. That is the most deceiving thing in America. They know the Rothschilds makes the presidents. They're trillionaires. They own the world. They own like 90% of the world.
Yeah, and plus, if you have all these superstars and all these
you control their puppets.
Well, and not only that, they got the money to buy land.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually, it's going to be one government.
Yes.
Or one secret government, should I say, the Illuminati or the Masons.
Right.
Who will control all this land.
But see, the Masons are the foot soldiers of the Illuminati. You understand the pyramid, right?
Yes, yes.
It's shaped like a triangle, right? So we're at the very bottom.
At the very bottom.
And then above that, you got different families. Different. Above that, you got York Rite, Scottish Rites, which are also sets of different branches of Freemasons. And then you go into Knights Templar, and you got so Shriners.
I guess that's where you get the All-Seeing Eye from.
The All-Seeing Eye is Lucifer.
Right.
Underneath them is the Rothschilds. Underneath them is the Council of 13. Or the Council of 33. Or 13. No, 13. Underneath them, you got the Council of 33. Underneath them, you got big, different corporations like the CFR.
Wow.
Council of Foreign Relations. And underneath them, you got like 6 big companies that own all the they own all the real estate, and they own all like media outfits, I said media, They own all different types of.
Yeah, like those people who are like Warren Buffett. Who owns
well, yeah, he's a 33rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they own, property. They own land. They own
Stocks, everything.
Everything. So you got 6 corporations in the world that owns 90% of the assets and the money of the world, right? So even the Federal Reserve is not of the United States. It's a separate entity that's ran by the Rothschilds. See, the Rothschilds, they run all that from their house.
Wow.
And they live out in England. They don't leave that house.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
They don't leave the house.
Why is that? I mean, is there
because that's where the devil dwells.
Gotcha.
The devil could only be in one place. God is everywhere.
Yeah.
You understand?
True. Yeah, because God is he's
everlasting.
He's omnipresent.
Yeah, he's everywhere. You can't put God in there, sir.
Yeah,
He's too big.
That would explain that red painting now, which I need to look up. The red painting of, I believe it was Prince William. That would explain why that painting is there where the Rothschilds are.
You can't have the devil everywhere. He's limited to his power.
Someone had spoke upon that red painting being a portal.
One spot.
Amen.
Well, he'll use his foot soldiers to do other things.
Exactly.
They're all demons. They're all demon possessed. They're vessels. They're fleshly vessels that are compartmentalized. They're like shattered. They shatter their brains, and it's just like MK Ultra, right? They use MK Ultra to break the minds of people, and then they mold them the way that they want them to go.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Or satanic ritual abuse. That all comes together with the Freemasons.
So their ultimate goal is pretty much to have one world order,
one world religion,
and one world
currency. Yep.
To eventually rule the world.
Rule the world, right?
Which is to usher in also the
Antichrist,
the Antichrist, mark of the beast, and so
mark
on.
of the beast, right?
So you've seen all this firsthand.
Yeah. Oh yeah, firsthand. I mean, I've seen the rituals. I see where they imitate them trying to kill you.
Wow.
When you get in your masters, they put you like they simulate that they're stabbing you, and they killing you like a 2-ball cane.
So in other words, like you almost have to. Kind of like the way we have to be reborn.
Yes, they're making a mockery out of baptism.
Right, and it's actually reversed. And you know what? The devil works like that because. So if we have to be reborn, they pretty much say you have to
die first.
You have to kill yourself for the devil. Yeah. Wow.
So just like like the satanic baptism, they baptize them in blood in a cast iron bathtub.
Right.
If you see the videos that you see, like this girl named Rihanna is one of them, that she's done blood sacrifices, and she's done a blood baptism, but they won't show blood in the bathtub. They show water, but it's symbolic. Their water is symbolic to blood.
Right.
And they have to get in that bathtub. Even Eminem, you see him on one of those magazines. He's just leaning back, bare chested, with blood up to his stomach.
Wow.
In a cast iron, bathtub, and that's how they do their rituals. Everything is backwards.
Who's the other guy? I know there's a lot of them.
A lot of them. Yeah.
Was it Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne is another. That's the most satanic one around.
Right,
him, Little Baby, the one that promotes him. He's a pedophile. He's a fag.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they're all homosexuals. They have to be like the Baphomet. Like is it above? Like is it below? You see the Baphomet?
Yes. He has 4 arms. Something like that.
No. That's Hindu. I'm talking about the Baphomet is the god of the Knights Templar.
Okay, I'll post a picture as you're saying this.
Yeah,
I'll post a picture.
It's a goat's face with horns.
Right.
Has breast of a woman and the remaining lower half of man, and then the feet of a goat.
Wow.
So they worship that. That's Lucifer. All right, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
They eat fecal matter. They drink urine. I mean, it's disgusting. I never did that. I never got that high up to do nothing like. But when you're up there and they expose everything to you at the 30th to the 33, you're done. You're selling yourself to the devil at that point.
And then not only that, you're sworn to secrecy.
Yeah, you sworn never to divulge any information, but to always protect and help your fellow brother. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that was the first step, and then what was the second?
The second is fellowcraft. That's the second degree, fellowcraft. Okay. Same kind of rituals, but it's now you go from raising your pants, like trousers on the right. Now you're gonna do it on the left, and now you got a different ankle toe with a ball.
Man, that's crazy.
And then you blindfolded. It take you, the actual officer. They call them officers, the ushers. I call them ushers. They usher you around, and you got to bow where you have to bow, and you got to, do what you got to do, and and they make you face the worshipful master of the east, the worshipful master of the west. This is a specific part in the lodge. It's empty, and that's the north. You never face the north, which it resembles where the Lord is at.
Right.
They say that God is, straight up north, but they don't make you do nothing with that. It's just like senseless rituals, and you want your ego to get through. You're eager to get your ring, your token.
Yeah.
Or any other, Masonic memorabilia that you could wear. You put it on.
I've met somebody when I was working at the shipyard. Someone who did have a ring.
Yeah, I used to wear a ring all the time.
Okay, so they give you rings.
No, you have to buy it. You have to purchase it yourself. Or if you're my brother and I'm giving you a token of my appreciation to you because you already became a master. Right. Well, here's sometimes they'll give you a dime with a compass and square on it.
Wow, okay.
You know what I mean? Unless you really put it up close to see it, that's a token of appreciation and love from your brother.
Gotcha.
Or they'll probably, well, you know what? We want to buy you your first ring. Mm. Or they'll give you a shield to put in your car. You know what I mean? So everybody sees that you're a brother, leave you alone. You get special privileges, you get pulled over, cop, have a nice day. Because they're all,
So the ultimate goal here is that if anybody ever, approaches somebody,
right,
stay far away from this.
Oh, you're going to have to stay far away from and run. Don't stay close, because see, the problem with that is they use the actual word brotherhood as an advantage to them.
It's sad.
It's catchy. It's a honey.
When you say brotherhood also, this is going around a lot in the colleges.
Oh yeah, the Alpha Catas and all them. That's all Greek.
Yes.
And a lot of them becomes after a while, they'll become bones and skulls.
Wow.
Oh yeah, especially if you're in Yale. That's where they come from, But they do you have to be a master mason before you become
Mm-hmm.
Skull and bones, not bones and skulls. It's skull and bones. But he was saying it right.
Anything else, depending on your upward mobility, and rituals. The quicker you get them done, the quicker things are revealed to you. But like I said, you could go as high as you want. If you got money, you could buy your way up. Mm-hmm. Honorary. You know how many times they give honorary doctorates that people never ever been in college?
Yeah.
For example, Bill Cosby got an honorary doctorates, right? Mm-hmm. So they jacked him up with these women and stuff. They took it away. But he's a Freemason.
Ron G, what's going on? I mean, I agree with you there. You have to always take things with a grain of salt. However, if you're referring to using the black people as the face of it goes along with what Jonathan Adi was saying before. The hip-hop agenda is pretty much used as a front for the drug trafficking. Remember he said that? And I had also said before, like, he's mentioning, pedophiles and gays being in Freemasonry, right? I said this before. It is time for us to understand and come to grips with the fact that hip-hop was based on, or should I say, was even founded, if we're talking about African Bambaataa, it's founded by a pedophile. If we're being honest. Right? So it isn't a sense of, yes, we should definitely be very offended by us being, mocked and used as the face of the mockery, in a sense, right? Should definitely be offended by that. I definitely agree with you there. But we are, in a sense, used. Because if you remember, the last, decade, the biggest genre was what? Hip-hop. That's us. Is it not? Exactly. Thank you, Freddy B. You said it exactly right there. Give people a face that they already hate. Give people the face that they already hate. That's the whole thing of they want to be like us and all that shit, right? But at the end of the day, we all should just be loving each other. No Diddy, of course, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. We all should just be here for one another. The race part doesn't matter. The race part was made to matter. If you get what I mean. Race don't matter. It was made to matter. But it never did. You said it right there, Sko. All of them. And then you hear from somebody that was a, Master Mason. You hear from somebody that he's not even in hip hop. He's a retired policeman. I want that shield to get out of tickets. Me too.
But see, if you start exposing them, they'll go after you, they'll go after your family, they'll try to kill you because the government is part of it. It's not only civilians, the government is in cahoots with these people.
Right.
And in there's sectors throughout the whole country that's split apart. I don't know if it's northeast, south, and west, but they have witches that are in charge of these sectors and warlocks that are in charge of these sectors, and they pretty much monitor the satanic, I'm going to use the satanic, members.
Mm-hmm.
Like they call it congregation too, just the opposite of being a Jesus believer. I don't want to use the word Christianity.
Yeah.
But I want to, believers, right? So they have specific warlocks and, Council of 13 witches, which are either male or female.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much they're in charge of thousands of members of the congregations and the local witches and warlocks that are in charge of that congregation.
Wow.
And a lot of them are politicians, heavily involved in witchcraft. And they have to do certain rituals and certain things in order for them to gain favor with the Rothschilds, and then they send orders of doing things for that family.
Wow.
They give them orders, and with those orders money comes with it.
And so like the exact same way we try to expand the kingdom of God,
they're doing it the other way. Oh yeah, it's satanic at the core. This whole country is not based upon Christianity. It's satanic from head to toe. Don't ever think that the president is not a satanic worshiper either. Don't ever think. And I'm going to put it out there too. I'm going to put it out there.
Nice.
I'm going to put it out there. Because, come on. Their God is money. Lucifer.
Right.
They don't have none of want or need. Doesn't the Lord says it in the Holy Scriptures, ye that are poor, you're rich. Right? We're rich in favor to the Most High.
That's right.
All you got to do is ask, and God provides.
Uh-huh.
If He provides for the little critters and the birds of the air and the fowls of the air, how much more us that He loves us even more? We were made in His creation.
Amen.
But these people are satanic at the core. They don't believe in God. They hate God because their God is Lucifer. And I was involved in that. I met witches before. They've revealed themselves because when you're in and you get yourself out, see, what got me out was God's love and grace and mercy.
So looking back,
yeah,
you wouldn't trade nothing in the world for it.
Never. I'm humbled.
Amen.
To the 20th power.
Amen.
I would never change anything.
Right.
Because the Most High had something to do with it.
Amen.
See, and I didn't know. I thought it was just things that at times you do something that you ain't supposed to do. You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
A lot of it was reaping and sowing. Don't get me wrong, but the bulk of it was God breaking me down from being a juvenile all the way up to I'm in my 40s now. So I'm a different type of person now.
Amen.
Everything that was taken from me, that I thought it was taken away from me, God gave it back with interest.
Multiply it.
So, I at times when I fellowship, when with other brothers and sisters, you know, I share with them portions of my testimony or whatever benefits them, you know, in the walk. And I was like, how did you do it?
You know, someone once told me, they said, the devil likes to subtract and divide.
Yeah.
And the Lord likes to add and multiply.
Just like Abraham.
Amen, brother.
Just like Abraham.
That's right.
You know, but I mean, people like yourself, you know, through you, I got to see the apostle.
All right, yeah.
You know, I would have never got to see Pastor Jennings if it would have been because of the word
made simple,
made simple, you know, on YouTube. And then from there we started fellowshipping, and I started watching all his, you know, YouTube channels through you, Tony Harving, and everybody else. And, you know, just before I came here, the Lord spoke to me. He goes, well, you need to be baptized. You need to be holy, brother. You got the Holy Spirit in you. You speak in tongues. Now it's time for you to be baptized.
Amen. That's right.
So from here, I'm going to go to the Holy Convocation, hopefully in July.
That's right.
And I'm going to be baptized there. I got to go see Pastor Gino Jennings to see if he knows what to do with me.
Well, you see, there you go, guys. You have it. Here's brother Vic. And hopefully he'll be there, God willing. Hopefully I'll be there, God willing. Hopefully Tony
First
Harvey.
Church.
Yes,
Rocks.
amen. And last week of July.
Last week of July. Also, if there's anybody out there considering to becoming a Freemason, don't do it.
That's right.
Don't do it. If you need to talk to somebody that's been there, you could contact me at 330-707-5159, or you could shoot me an email, which is lowercase vr13377@gmail.com. At any time, I'm available all day long. So just wanted to say God bless you. Be safe. Do the right thing.
That's right. Do the right thing. Speaking of which, so Ron G, I'm going to show 3 videos, right? One has not been played on this channel. 2 have. So I'm going to play the first 2. Because I'm not necessarily about proving people wrong as much as I am always about, you know, informing. Right? Let's see. Where's he at? Oh. I might as well put that one in. Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Okay. Exhibit B.
Man, it's been one of them motherfucking nights. Real. I should have took some pictures before night started. It's the end of the night and it was motherfucker. So we coming to you live. Diddy late nights. Anything can happen. I'm just vibing. It's so wide. So you gotta keep the hair. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna wear this hair in Toronto. Hey, let me ask you a question. When I get to motherfucker floating like a motherfucking cloud. Like you had clouds on your motherfucking shoes. You know what I'm saying? And that motherfucker moving around. Hey, you said Febreze, nigga? You was floating like a motherfucking Febreze, my nigga. You was moving like, nigga, with a scent. You had a... Nigga, it's just late night. Nigga, I got my wig on. Freezing. Listen, I was like, this ain't no goddamn wig. This is my motherfucking natural. I don't need to be ashamed of what the fuck. That's a motherfucking natural. It's a motherfucking natural. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing it to Toronto and Atlanta. You coming to Atlanta? Yo, motherfucker, you coming or not, bitch? Man, I'm down. Nah, if you don't get to Toronto, get to Atlanta. I know you got a busy schedule producing all them hits. I'm definitely making it to Atlanta.
Maybe you should schedule in Cassie.
Nigga, Toronto, I'ma smash that shit.
Day, but can you schedule me in? Because it's like
Definitely making it to Atlanta.
Maybe you should schedule in Cassie.
Nigga, Toronto, I'ma smash that shit.
Day, but can you schedule me in? Because it's like
I'm definitely
definitely make it to Atlanta.
Maybe you should schedule in Cassie.
Nigga, Toronto, I'ma smash that shit.
But Tupac was in the back of a dressing room trying to mock somebody. That wasn't, that's a little different. It's a little different. Yeah, he's definitely drunk. But for this to be his normal is what I'm getting at. Drunk is one thing. For this to be your normal is a whole other thing. Yes, he's very drunk. Very, very drunk. A little bit too drunk. A little too drunk, if you ask me. A little too drunk. But Exhibit C.
And I find any great man, black or white, I'm gonna study him, learn it, so he can't be great to me no more. Like Machiavelli. And that's why I don't say my name's not Machiavelli. My name is Machiavelli. I took it. That's mine. He gave me that. You know what I mean? I took that. Just like, and I don't feel no guilt. That motherfucker, all these motherfuckers stole from us forever. I'm taking back what's mine. It's just that they recorded it when he said it. It's probably something he took from us that they didn't let us record. So there's no shame. You know what I mean?
Like Otis Redding,
yeah,
the Rolling Stones.
no doubt. And I feel like I'm not on like people bashing like they are like on some. Why is niggas into this Italian mob shit? It's not about Italians to me, but I'm about studying people. I study the CIA, America. I hate America as for what we did, but I love us for being strong. You got to do that. So what? We don't got a good image. We the strongest motherfucking nation. That's me. That's me right fucking there. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck if y'all don't like me. I got the bombs. Can't nobody touch me. Won't nobody rush me. Something we doing right. That's that capitalism shit. Because you can feed your kids with that thought. All that other shit, you can't feed your kids with that. You can't feed your kids, you can't have a nation. So that's what's more important now, to me, is to take the discipline, the seriousness, and the bond that the mob has, to take the enthusiasm, the morals, the principles that the Black Panthers had, and the strength that the Black Panthers had, to take the camaraderie and go all out, we'll die for you. All of us as a team that the police have, to take the nation is first attitude, whatever we got to do to be number one, that United States take, and that's what makes me unstoppable. And take that nigga attitude that makes me look at all of that shit, study it and learn it, take the young African American to have the talent to exhibit it, you know what I mean? And take the businessman, take the president, to take the philosopher to be able to break it down into an actual philosophy. And that's what Illuminati is. But it's up to you to bring it to the people, or else we're gonna have an East Coast, West Coast war, because I'm not bowing down. I'm not gonna say, everything I did was righteous by the rules of war. You know what I mean? And they gotta recognize that. But it's really like right now, it's not New York, because New York got love. It's the writers, the radio people are using this as some way. They don't know what to talk about, right? So that's what it's just like you sat down and thought about that nigga them shit, you can sit down and think of how you could make people see it as clear as it is. Just like we on the same level. You look at things and then you figure out how it's like a big plan to it. It got to be a big plan if this shit is happening. Like you were saying about me and Biggie being like politicians. That's how I looked at it. Like, wait a minute, this shit is. I look at the rap game like how it is. Like every couple months, a whole new it's a whole new genre. They'll say like they got a whole bunch of writers talking about gangster rap is dead. Those are the ones that don't like gangster rap. That's like the writers that don't like Republicans. So they do that thing. They spin. You know what I mean? And then there's other ones that are like, Tupac dropped the best, those are the ones that love it. Those are the radio people that love it, you know what I mean? And our job basically is I don't want to see them dead, because by the other side being who the other side is, that makes me the best man. Everybody in this rap world, they talking about his money, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm the richest nigga in the game, because Fresh Prince, a lot of niggas with money, but I'm saying it's like, it's not the money that I'm bragging about. When people see me with the jewels, it's not that. It's for it's for these little niggas to see. You just seen me in cuffs, shot up in a wheelchair with my head wrapped up. And you see me less than a fucking year later bailing through this motherfucking jewel down like Saka Zulu. Banging on niggas. I got this whole shit shook up. Everybody talking about this West Side shit, right? People like Ice Cube started. I was in jail when Ice Cube was out. No, that wasn't no problem. The day I got out of jail, it was a motherfucking problem to be where the fuck I was from. The day I stepped out, that's power. I want these little niggas to see that. I didn't get that power from guns because there's no guns in jail. I got that power from books and from thinking and by strategizing. That's what I want little niggas to see. And that, just for a year, niggas think, you know, you've been in the game so long, but it took, all that shit didn't matter because the rape, it veto all that. As soon as they charge you rape, even if you ain't do it, it veto your career. I started from scratch with Death Row, a new company. I was independent when I was Tupac. Me Against the World, I just bought my old managers out. I had it all now. I re-signed to be a part of this. For this to make my own shit bigger. And now I got Machiavelli Records. And Machiavelli is the first artist on that. And
Illuminati was when I started my days of research. When Tupac decided to do Illuminati, and I tell you a quick instance, right? There was two different news reports. One was he was taken in a helicopter, flown off to Cuba. No, I'm not talking about the Wonder If Heaven Got a Ghetto video, because that footage was actually from when he actually was taken away in an ambulance. That wasn't just the video shoot. That wasn't just the lady standing in the middle of the lady in the middle of the street literally said that he was taken away in a helicopter. They didn't necessarily know if he was in Cuba, but that became an actual thing. But then there was another news report that they actually changed it to in the paper that he was taken to the hospital. Later on down the line, you hear Suge Knight saying, well, was he actually at the hospital? You hear him also saying, where's the doctor that practiced or did the autopsy on him? Where's the doctor that cut him open? Who was the person that did the cremation? Who's this to that? Suge Knight was always saying, and you have proof footage of that, he's not even gone. And we don't have to go into the whole what Machiavelli actually is and how Machiavelli, came back, all the 7-day theory and all that, right? We don't have to go through that. But know this. If Pac knew what he was up against, we should all know what we're up against. If he decided to say Illuminati because he was killing all that shit, I wanted to know what he was killing and what he was putting the K on. I put the ladder down in that rabbit hole and got my ass down there. Been down here ever since. Been down here ever since. Yes, the confidence that Pac had is incredible. To know what he was going up against and just said, fuck it, I'm going up against him. He knew already. He knew he was going to be eventually a target and assassinated. Got his money right. He learned you had to get your money right before you go to war. He got his money right, then he decided to go to war. Unfortunately, he was going to war with too many people. That's the only thing about that. He went to war with too many people. But again, I've been down in the rabbit hole ever since Illuminati. And what I've been finding around this motherfucker, it's always been enlightening to me and forever will be. And I will always try to enlighten my brothers and sisters. The fight in the casino is very questionable. It's very questionable. One day I will do a serious deep dive on the Biggie and Pac murder. I mean, I've done it. I've done little things here and there. I played the Choke No Joke stuff. With Choke No Joke, shout out to him. Did a very thorough. He's done one of the most thorough investigations of this shit, in my opinion. If you really want to hear the entire of how that shit went, Choke No Joke is a very, has a very good insight on what happened, on how Jimmy Henchman was very involved in the first. Everyone knows Jimmy Henchman was very much involved in the first Quad Studios shooting, along with P. Diddy. Right? Then you have the second shooting, where Orlando Brown was made to look like the shooter, but he was only the fall guy with that jumping, right? There was supposedly extra footage that actually shows that, what happened and what took place that everyone's seen with the fight actually happened before the fight, if you get what I'm saying. It didn't happen after the Tyson fight. It happened before. So while they made people think that that footage was after the fight, it was only to coincide with him getting shot later and make it look like Orlando Brown was the reason, or the Crips were the reason that he got shot. When in hindsight, it wasn't. Pac knew he was targeted. Pac knew he was about to be assassinated. And he made his plan to get away. Very successful at it at that. Probably one of the only successful people to escape a targeted assassination from the Illuminati, if you think about it, right? Michael Jackson. You hear how many times you hear Michael Jackson in a record, right? You hear how many times Jay-Z. Think about this, right? Is it a coincidence how many times Jay-Z, for example, uses Michael Jackson in song lyrics? On this particular channel here, we have literally covered soul harvesting and energy harvesting, the solstice, and when they're out. So we know how these rappers and these artists that are of some high degree, Jay-Z being a 33rd degree master Freemason, right? Jay-Z is a 33rd degree Master Mason. You mean to tell me he doesn't know a thing or two about energy and harvesting their energy? Think he doesn't know anything about that? He hasn't learned any of those teachings through the degrees, right? You don't get a Blueprint 3 record, or should I say Blueprint 3 album, without you becoming that 33rd degree. There's a huge breakdown on that, actually. Him becoming that 33rd degree Mason. When I did the book of Jay-Z, or should I say the Black Book of Jay-Z, right? And I went down the rabbit hole of every single woman that he had done wrong while with Beyonce. And we decoded how Rockefeller broke up, and that it was over Aaliyah, and that him and R. Kelly possibly had something to do with the death of Aaliyah. How the uncle received millions for the death of Aaliyah. And Hove, you had the nerve to name the second album with R. Kelly, Unfinished Business. I bet it was. Yes, Nipsey. Why do you say that? When we covered Nipsey, that one was just, that wasn't, all right, I'm going to just dig for Diddy and Nip. No, that was, I stumbled literally upon it. I kid you not. I'll tell you the story of how I stumbled upon Nipsey. I'm sitting there getting dressed for work. On the screen, they were literally talking about something that had to do with Capricorn. And they said Capricorn was Lauren London's sister. And I said, wait a minute. Say what? Capricorn, Lauren London's sister, huh? Again, went down the rabbit hole. Started noticing how Lauren London was, of course, a Sean John model for Puff before she met Nip. Introduces Diddy to Nip because she already has the relationship with Diddy. You see how it works? So when people are shocked at seeing a photo shoot with Diddy and Lauren London, I am not, because I am seeing the snake. I'm seeing how this snake gained $5 million. Measly $5 million for the soul of someone that you called your confidant. Y'all weren't married, but played house like you were. And of course, all you got from that was $5 million and some kids. Now, look, mind you, right? I think people forget Lauren London is also Lil Wayne's baby mama. While we easily want to forget, yeah, she was with Nip, but this was also Lil Wayne's baby mama. She been getting passed around. So nobody needed to get mad at Kodak Black for when he wanted to just, take his shot. The world was mad at him because he was like, oh, it's too soon, it's too soon. I'm just saying. I don't like to keep the wool on everybody's eyes. I like to pull it off. You know what I mean? Pull the wool off over your eyes, man. Well, I didn't know about that one. Misa was with Alpo. I didn't know that. Misa Hilton was with Alpo. That's something. That's Harlem. That would make sense there. That's Harlem. Right. It's only entertainment. As Jay-Z says, it's only entertainment, right? It's not all entertainment at the end of the day. It's not all entertainment because before we go, let us not forget now that this exists. Let us not forget this exists.
Miami, and when I'm in Miami, I need anything, and I mean anything. We can't even discuss it, the things that this man is capable of bringing to you. But believe me, he has Miami on lock. But this is the love affair, baby. It's a love movement.
Rick Ross in the background as well. We know how close his relationship.
Let us not forget that certain things, that we witness today exist.
Combs.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes, and I came back and I sued him for the herpes and won. But Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Again, the things we witness today. The things we witness. Original me, yes, I think so as well. Especially even down to Kendrick Lamar's, his verse. And no, don't give me your phone. And her talking to a different man or whatever. Or her cheating, basically, and him finding out. Yeah, that whole record was about Lauryn Hill. That whole Mona Lisa record. Again, the things that we witnessed today have now been confirmed. They've now been confirmed. They've now been confirmed. Things that we questioned.
Hey, yo, check this out. This is DJ Khaled.
What's up?
I'm sorry.
No, shit.
Things
I'm
that we
sorry.
question.
I don't want to interrupt
That's
you.
all love.
I'm Diddy though, y'all.
Yeah, but I'm Khaled too.
Khaled, but you also Billy.
And I'm Billy.
And I'm Love.
And I'm Father of Assad.
Father of Assad.
And you Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy.
And Sean Combs.
Yeah, and what is this?
First time.
The first time?
Ever.
This is the first time ever. Another one.
Another one. Who want to go first?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to answer that though.
I mean, as a fan, I met Puff, Jack the Rapper, street team.
He couldn't answer again how he met Khaled.
I was street team. I'm still a fan. But I'm talking about, so he don't know who Khaled is, but I'm just hustling street team, and I don't think he realized that I used to be street team for Bad Boy. Then after that, in Miami, me and Puff met while I was on the radio. You know, when I'm breaking records, spinning records. Met him through a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, and we just became real brothers.
Yeah, I can't tell you about the first time I met him, the real truth. I just can't speak on it, you know.
Yeah, some stories gotta be untold.
Yeah.
God is great.
God is great. That we don't have to live that way anymore. Good.
Yeah, we blessed.
He came through.
Yeah.
Make sure you know he came through.
Yeah.
Trunk full.
Yeah.
Trunk was full. Everything was all right.
I bet it was, Puff. I bet it was. As I always say to y'all, yo. I always say to y'all. Your third eye open and your head on the swivel. Fact is never motherfucking fiction. And as someone said earlier, the camera was the greatest motherfucking invention, wasn't it? The greatest. The greatest. Shout out to everybody that came up in here tonight. What had happened was Ron G, Simple Town Radio, Original Me, Skull on the Go, or Skull from the Go. Fury B, the homie. Who else is up in here? Who else is up in here? Medusa. My moderators was up in here tonight. Who else was up in here? Only One Zane. I know Tamiko Show was up in here. Abra Amanya. DJ Beard Gang, Overthoughts, Simple Town Radio, Black Bleach, Baby Juju. Who else is up in here? This evening? I'm trying not to scroll too far. I see Sean was up in here, Taya Shanae was up in here. Straight from DC. Simba, thank you for always tuning in, brother. Thank you for always tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Icon Vani, who just subscribed? I just see a S. Who just subscribed? Thank you for subscribing. I greatly appreciate that. And no, thank you. Thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate y'all. I will be back again on Tuesday. My black ass is going to get some much needed sleep in these next couple of days. Cause everybody been on my butt about being sleepy. So I'm going to get some rest soon. Instead of me doing 3 hours of sleep every night and 2 hours of sleep. I did 1.5 one day and still got my ass up for work, but I gotta stop that before my ass have a stroke. So. You already know. Till next time.
What you talking about, man? Bitch. No. What it is, you really do. A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.